mic was muted for a second here. What's up, Giants fans, Hub watchers, YouTube subscribers, Twitter and Instagram followers? It's Kush back at it again with another episode of the Just Chillin podcast call-in show. I got a couple guests that may pop on. One of them's already in here that I want to have on for a minute now. I see Big Play Slay, also known as Franchise. His new name is in the chat. You definitely got to call in considering we're going to be playing your team this week, Franchise. The Irrelevant Fan Sober Party. What's up, man? As you guys are popping in, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're new, and definitely hit that share button. Get it out to the rest of Giants, Eagles, and Commanders fans, and I guess the Cowboys as well. Throwing the NFC East in there. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? As you see, the title says a tie with a whole bunch of question marks. Man, that was certainly unexpected. It's so funny. The Giants hadn't tied in a game for 25 straight years, a quarter of a century. There was no tie for the New York Giants when they played a game. And the last time they tied against a team was against the Washington Redskins. Then, this past Sunday, for the first time in 25 years, they tie against a team. And it's the now Washington Commanders, but it's to the same team. 20-20. I definitely didn't expect a tie like down the line of this game. I'm not surprised by the Giants' offensive struggles. It's been sort of the main problem with this team throughout the entire year so far. What I am surprised by is that in overtime, they couldn't find anything to just get into field goal range. It was so hard for them to get into field goal range. And this was a poorly officiated game on both sides. The Giants had some calls that were kind of and Washington had some calls that were kind of like officiating. There's nothing new. I hate complaining about that, but if there's something you definitely want to side eye, it's John Feliciano, who a lot of fans have been getting on, deservedly so. Mike Kafka, who I've had my ups and downs with, but I will continue to say I'm never gonna call for his job because it's his first year as a play caller, and he can improve tremendously in one off season, whether it's just by getting better at his craft or getting players that better fit his scheme. So people that are calling for his job, I'm just going to say calm down a bit. Definitely don't call for the coach's jobs. You could comment on Jones. You could comment on Slayton. You could comment on Saquon, who a lot of people aren't putting commentary on, but he's been relatively quiet since that Houston game. So many things you could talk about. So let's just get into it. Shout out to Nova. Shout out to Rivalry. I'm going to drop the link for you guys in a couple seconds. First up, we got Mike Nixon. Mike, how you doing?
Yo, what's up, Kush?
I'm good, man.
Man, oh man. I just can't put in the words in my mind to think that we tied, bro.
Yeah, 20-20. We didn't score at all, basically majority of the third quarter, and not at all in the fourth, not at all in overtime. I thought the final score of the game was going to be 20-13. I thought we were going to hold out against Washington, but they had that one drive where I think it was a Jahan Dotson touchdown that got them to 20 as well.
Yeah. My former Penn State Nittany Lion.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as I'm happy that he scored, it also pains me that he scored because he scored against my Giants.
Yeah.
But I mean, now we have to beat Washington in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
Because I'm assuming that they're gonna have Chase Young back.
Are they? In 2 weeks, you mean, right?
Yeah, in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Unless we can find a way to beat the Eagles, which I doubt.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess anything's possible.
The Eagles, they definitely look tough. That's for
Yeah,
sure. They look tough.
yeah.
I
Yep.
mean, listen, we got the Eagles. Is it at home or is it at Lincoln? It's at home, right? Because we end, I think, away.
I believe we're at home.
So we got the Eagles at home. And I feel like everybody knew if we wanted like a shot at a good seeding in the playoffs, we were supposed to sweep Washington. That's already out the window because we tied with them one game. Um, yo, it would be because we've had a great season so far. I don't care, no matter what
But
anybody says, we've had a successful
but
season so far.
the good news is like if we beat Washington,
Yeah,
we should get in
we sh-
because there won't
base
technically
basically the only way we get in is if we beat them record wise because they're always gonna have a tiebreaker over us.
how.
If we lose to the Eagles, they have a tiebreaker over us.
Oh, yeah.
If we lose both times to the Eagles, they have a tiebreaker over. So the only way we're getting in is just by finishing with a better record.
Yeah. Then Washington, you're saying?
Yeah, I was talking about with Washington. What I was gonna say before that though is that this year's already been a success. We've already done way more than we thought we were. I honestly like on some level, I kind of don't necessarily care too much about the playoffs because we've already overachieved and I already believe in the current regime. But at the same time, of course, I want to get in the playoffs because I want to see the Giants play playoff football for the first time in like 6 years. So I'll say this: the chances of us getting that good seeding is basically all been dashed. We just gotta hope to get. I don't think we're getting anything better than a sixth or seventh, and we still have one of the toughest remaining schedules. I think it's ranked second
Mhm.
toughest now because we already faced Washington and Dallas. When those two were still on deck, it was the toughest in the NFL. Now it's the second toughest. We have the Eagles, who are currently basically the best team in the NFL, up next. We have Washington
Yeah.
again, who we just tied with. I think after that, it's the Colts or it's the Vikings. And
The Vikings,
the
then
Vikings
Colts,
are one of
then Eagles.
also one of the best teams in the NFL.
Yeah.
Then it's the Colts, and the Colts, they're not one of the best teams in the NFL, but they're not an easy team to put away either. And then we finish against the Eagles. It's something like that.
Hmm.
It's gonna be so tough, man. It's gonna be so tough. But we got some players back from injury. We'll see what
Yeah.
happens.
Yes. And I I look at this Washington game and I kind of blame John Feliciano,
Hmm.
bro.
Go ahead,
That was
explain.
that was that was that was totally stupid. I get you trying to celebrate rate your team. Uh, you just can't do that. You
Hmm.
just can't do that. And I mean, and I also can kind of blame, even though he's been somewhat of our best receiver, Darius Slayton, for dropping that pass.
Yeah. That pass, as everything with Daniel Jones, has been so controversial for no reason. The thing, my biggest pet peeve with Giants fans are the ones that act like two things can't be true at the same time. Darius Slayton should have caught that catch. That's true. Daniel Jones could have been more accurate with the pass. That's true. But I still think at the end of the day, if Slayton got both of his hands on it, why are we talking about a better thrown pass? It's the same conversation we had a year ago when we played Washington in week 2. Like Slayton got his hands on it. He should come down with it. The man
Yeah.
has the second worst drop rate in the NFL for a reason, and that's not even hating on him. It's just facts.
Hmm. I mean, as much as I want to blame him, be mad at him.
I can't even be
He,
too mad at him because he's been our best receiver by far.
yeah, yeah,
And like
and
there's only so much you could expect from him.
yeah, yeah. Very true, bro. Very true. That's why in the first round of this draft, I'm targeting a receiver.
Anybody in mind in particular? I know Kayshawn Bote just said he's going back to LSU.
Yeah.
So anybody in particular?
Um. I mean, you got Quentin Johnson, which I doubt he'll be picking around. I mean, he's probably most likely gonna be a top 10 pick.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Jordan Addison, Jalen Hyatt from Tennessee.
Who is this Josh
I,
Downs guy? I've seen him a lot on Twitter recently.
he's a receiver from North Carolina, but I'm I I don't want him.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, if push comes to shove, then I guess my last choice would be Jackson Smith Najeba.
Is he a slot receiver or something? Which I guess you could say we already have in Wandale.
I mean, he primarily played the slot in Ohio State, but that's the thing. We didn't get to see much of him this year
Mm-hmm.
because of injuries.
I mean, Ohio State's been really good with receivers, especially in recent years, man.
Yeah,
You got what's his name on the Jets? I don't know why his name
Garrett
is slipping me right
Wilson.
now. Garrett Wilson looking like he might be not comparing. I'm just saying he looks Justin Jefferson like in terms of he could have a
Yeah,
really big impact on his team.
yeah,
You know? So that's great for the Jets. Wish we could get somebody like that. But
yeah.
Mike, let me get your thoughts on the Eagles game, man, before I pop on the next caller. What do you think's gonna happen?
I mean, I I'm just gonna expect us to lose, bro.
You say
By
it's gonna take a
like,
miracle?
yeah. I mean, shout out to Jalen Hurts. He's been practically playing like the MVP this year in the
I
league.
Yeah, if Big Play Slay calls, and I got a question for him. Legitimate question. Who had the better year, 2017 Wentz or 2022 Jalen Hurts?
I can answer that if you
Mm-hmm.
want me to. Also,
Go ahead, give your thought.
I would have to say, even though he didn't finish the season, Carson Wentz.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, he had like 33 touchdowns. I want to say
Yeah.
before the injury, and it took all but the last week to catch him
Mm-hmm.
for for that.
Gotcha.
So, in my opinion, it would be Carson Wentz. But I mean,
I can see, the thing is, I can see an argument for Jalen too. Like it's
yeah,
not like it's completely one sided. I could see argument for each player.
yeah, I can definitely see the argument for Jalen Hurts because he he does more than what Carson Wentz did.
Mm-hmm.
He's he's
And of
a
course, the
dual
Eagles
threat.
are like,
He's
oh
a dual threat
yeah,
quarterback.
and the Eagles this year feel the Eagles in 2017 were quite dominant, but they feel like a bigger threat this year than they did in 2017. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah,
But yeah, Mike, yo, that was it, bro. Thank you for calling in,
yeah.
man. Always appreciate it. First caller on deck. Have a good one, man.
You too, bro.
Next up, we got somebody that be hosting these Twitter spaces that y'all need to tune into. I try when I can, but unfortunately, most of them are like when I'm working, yo. I don't know how they got the time. But shout out to R0B. You guys need to check him out on Twitter, also on Twitch. Let's get him in. What up, Rob? How you doing,
Yo,
man?
yo, yo. What's up, baby?
Good, bro. What's with the red lighting? What is this?
It's my
Romantical.
ooh, I know. I was trying to be a little romantic with you. It's my LEDs on my computer.
Word, they red. Oh, that's a nice hat. That's a nice hat. I can't lie. Where you got
Thank you.
that
My,
from?
my
NFL
hair's
shop or
my
somewhere
hair's
else?
looking kind of rough. My hair's
Got you.
looking kind of rough, so I'm gonna put the hat on.
Yeah, where'd you got it from? NFL shop or somewhere else? New
No, so a
era.
buddy of mine lives in the Jersey area, and David Deal was doing an autograph signing at this new 7-Eleven that was built. So my buddy went there and FaceTimed me with David Deal
Oh,
and
Manny,
got his
what's up, man? How
autograph.
you doing? I'm sorry, I just haven't seen Manny in a minute. Definitely feel free to hit that link. My bad. So it was a gift. Did he tell you where he got it from though?
Yeah, he told me where he was gonna go prior to him getting in and everything.
Where was it at? Is it somewhere
Is
achievable?
it was at a 7-Eleven that they opened up near his area that he went to.
Ah, got you. 7-Eleven. But all right,
Yeah,
Rob. Listen, bro. We ended in a tie. That's the first thing we gotta talk about, man. We ended in a tie, and I know
we
Twitter
did.
Spaces were going. I was low key angry. I couldn't tune in today, so I usually don't work Tuesdays, but I had to work Tuesday this week, and of course, it's the Twitter Space where like apparently a whole lot of stuff went down.
Yeah, man, it's like ending in a tie, man. That kind of sucks. Obviously from a playoff perspective, it doesn't. It doesn't suck. It doesn't have like bad,
Not too
implications. But
terribly bad.
I felt like we had that game, man. There was like so many opportunities where I feel like we had the opportunities to win that game. And we just couldn't get it done. The 4th and 2 or 4th and 3 in overtime that we punted the ball away before we hit the final possession when we tried to kick the field goal. Um, I don't like the fact that we weren't aggressive there, and try to go with it. You've done it multiple times throughout the year. Daniel Jones has come through on
My
third and
I gotta say, my
15s.
biggest problem with the coaching staff has been just the lack of speed and aggression and 2 minute drills, and we had 2 minutes and 30 seconds and three timeouts, and like we didn't really try to chuck the ball until like the very last 10 seconds. It looked like it was crazy.
Yeah, like the whole thing, like even like towards the end of the game, like I get people want to say, it's a bad pass by Daniel Jones, and maybe it was, he didn't have the arm strength on it, to kind of lead the guy. So I'm not gonna fault him on not having the arm strength. I don't think that it was an underthrown ball. I think he just couldn't get it. I just don't think that he put enough on it and didn't have the strength to get it further out. Maybe I don't know. But at the end of the day, like Slayton's got to catch that ball. He had two hands on the football, got to catch the ball, and it doesn't shock me. He had a touchdown, wide open touchdown drop last year against Washington, and he had a wide open catch that he dropped in this game,
Mm-hmm.
against Washington. So he just doesn't, you know, I would argue it and say that the catch that he had in the second quarter that led to the touchdown
Was
was
more
a harder
difficult.
catch
Yeah.
than the one he had.
When I looked at the replay, I honestly think it looked like when he dropped to the ground with the ball in his hand, it looked like he got a wind knocked out of him or something, and that's why it popped out. Cause like
Well,
he
he
had
was
it, he
bobbling
like
in it
he,
even before he went down to the ground. He was bobbling
but it
it.
was
He
like
was
it's
doing
one of
it.
those catches where it's like all you gotta do is bring it to your chest. So I feel like maybe the wind got knocked out of him or something, and that's why it popped out.
I don't know. Like you bring it in, you hold it. Even if the wind gets knocked out of you, you bring it in, you cradle that shit. You're not gonna drop it. Even if you get the wind knocked out of you, you're not gonna. I mean, that's part of football.
Mm-hmm.
Like unless you're like you suffer like a severe injury, like where you get a concussion and you drop the ball, or you got a knee injury, like you tear your ACL, your MCL, and you go to grab your knee, and at that point you drop the ball. I understand. Like you drop the ball. I get it. But like in that aspect, man, catch the fucking ball.
Mm-hmm.
Catch the ball. Like you got both hands on it, catch it. I mean, that right there, could have sealed the game. Then you had John Feliciano, flexing and shit like that. Like, bro, like for what? Like you just cost us 10 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, dude. Like the whole to me, the whole game was a fucking shit show. like near the end of the game. We only had 21 yards of offense in the second half. Couldn't get anything going. Defense played okay up until that last drive that when they scored. And I even said it like Aziz, although he played a great game, Aziz took an inside release on that 4th and 4. You got to go outside. You can't go inside. Don't give up your outside. And then, yeah, I know you spun, but when you spin to try to go out, you give him like an extra second to maneuver to get into an open space. Like just go to the outside, keep him in the pocket, and if he tries to escape, now he's got a little bit of a harder throw. Now he's got to run. Now he's got to run parallel to you further back, where now he's running lateral to the sideline. Now he's got to kind of run further back. It makes it a harder throw. Maybe it's an interception. Like I don't know. It was like after that drive, and then we go ahead and we tried two fade routes, and we had to punt the ball back to him. I was like, we're gonna lose this fucking game. Like I told my wife, I was like, we're gonna lose this fucking game. They're gonna go kick a field goal. We're gonna lose the game. And I was like, you got to be shitting me. And it went to overtime. But it's like, it makes me sick.
Mm-hmm. The overtime, it's so hilarious. It seemed like we were playing hot potato with both teams were playing hot potato with just giving the game away. Like, this is what I gotta say. Similar to Aziz's thing with K. Vaughn, I'm happy he got the sack that was really close to the end zone. Part of me was like, man, if only you grabbed them and just swing them around, that would have been a safety. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, grab them by the hip, swing around just a little bit. But
Yeah.
But you know what that is, Rob? At the end of the day, we're just nitpicking, and we're ignoring the real problem with this team. It's just the offense. It all comes back down to the offense. We do not have a good offense, and for whatever reason, whether that's the coaching, whether it's the players, whether it's a mix of both, which honestly it most definitely is a mix of both. It's just that we don't have a good offense, and there's only so far we can go with an offense that operates like that.
Yeah, I mean, like you can't freaking just dude. I don't know, like it's like I was talking about it in my space today. Like, people keep saying like, oh, we don't have the wide receiver. Like, I get it. Like, we don't have the wide receivers, top tier wide receivers.
But like, I
all
hate
that.
the fact,
but
yo,
but
this
at
is so
some
funny.
point,
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I have to
though,
say this. This is so funny. In the Dallas game, we took that shot with Slayton, and obviously I wasn't live. I was just watching it with family.
yeah,
And I said to myself, literally at halftime, I'm like, I swear to God, they better take another shot like that in the game. They didn't for the rest of the game. On live, when I was calling this game with Kid Blue, and we had that shot to Slayton, I was like, they're not going to take a shot to him for the rest of the game. Now, they ended up taking it in like the last 10 seconds, but it still proves my point. Like, when the explosive plays happen, they work. It's just like, why don't you try them more? Just chuck one or two of them up and see what happens.
I just to me, like I said it today, man. I was like, I get it that we don't have the wide receivers that maybe we'd like to have, but at some point, like at some point, there has to be a definitive notion that the quarterback is being held back by the skill positions. And we like right now you can't say that because it flip-flops every week. It's the wide receivers are performing but the quarterback didn't do well. Oh, well, the quarterback is doing well and the receivers are dropping balls. Like right now it's 50-50. I brought up a perfect example today. Authentic was in one of my spaces and he was hanging out. I was talking with somebody who brought it up. And I asked this guy, I was like, you remember Cam Newton? And he said, yeah. I was like, when you think of Cam Newton, do you think of him being a running quarterback or a passing quarterback? And the first thing he said was running. I was like, do you realize that in 2015 that Cam Newton went 15-1 and he had no name fucking wide receivers? He had Ted Ginn, Philly Brown. Really the only passing weapon he had was Greg Olsen, and that was a tight end. And the guy went 15-1, and Ted Ginn actually had like 10 touchdowns that year. He had 10 touchdowns, and Ted Ginn was a nobody out of Ohio State. Like he was a special teamer. He was a returner. He never did anything. He was drafted by Miami and everything like that. Devin Funches, I mean, what did he do? He never amounted to anything. Like where was he? What was his career like? Don't worry, I'll wait. You know, like Devin Funches was a nobody. Philly Brown was a nobody. Ted Ginn was a nobody. But meanwhile, he went 15-1 and was averaging 35 points a game with no-name wide receivers. And this is a guy that people think was a running quarterback, which he was. He wasn't the greatest passer. But yet, his rookie year, he equated for 35 total touchdowns. He had 14 rushing touchdowns, and he had 21 passing touchdowns. And he equated for almost 5,000 total yards between rushing and passing. But for us, people like, oh, Daniel, he's never had a number one wide receiver. Okay, but what has he done to show you that he needs that number one wide receiver? What jumps out? Like, what stands out? What, like, can we honestly say, like, man, if he had a number one wide receiver, like, these guys are holding him back. If anything, he's being held back. He's holding them back. If anything, on a more regular basis. Like, yes, you know, like, he has his moments and he has his flashes, but you know what? Like, you can't, like,
I gotta say, I'm
know.
actually a little surprised because at the beginning of the and I hate that we always have to make the distinction. Nobody here is a Daniel Jones basher, but at the beginning of the year, you were definitely more on the supporting him side. It sounds like you're more like, yo, listen, he needs to show something a little bit. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like, listen, at the end of the day, I was giving him the benefit of the doubt. I felt bad. Listen, I will not change my stance that I feel like he was dealt a bad hand, that he was put into a bad situation.
And he was. That's all true. Like, that's all true.
And that's all true. And his situation was not properly handled. He was let down by the owner. He was let down by the coaches. He was let down by the GM that didn't properly build around their quarterback. There's no question about that. But at this particular point in time, and I made another point, I'm in sales. And if I'm not producing in sales, and my manager comes up to me and says, listen, you know, it's been a couple of months of no good progress with sales. You know, I'm giving you this month. If it doesn't work and you don't produce something, then unfortunately we're going to have to move on. And for me, I'm going to pull out all the stops and try to make every sale that I possibly can, sell everything, and try to have the best selling month of my life, just so that I can keep my job, just so that I can show my value to you. Is Daniel Jones doing that? He's toned down the turnovers. Great. He's not
definitely
making
become
mistakes.
smart. I was gonna say he's definitely become a lot smarter with decision making.
He's been a lot smarter with decision making. He's being a very, very good game manager. But at some point, like at some particular point in time, you got to say, fuck it. I'm going to put it on my shoulder and I'm just going to go out there and play my ass off.
And real quick, this super chat that just came in low key matches your analogy. Shout out to Christopher Spires for the $5 super chat. He says, to me, 4 years is enough time to realize a guy cannot average less than 15 touchdowns in the last 3 seasons.
I mean, it's just like, and then again, I said it to the point. I was like, to somebody that was in my space, I said, who would you label the top 2 quarterbacks in the league? He said Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. I said, you realize that our head coach was Josh Allen's offensive coordinator for 4 years. So why, like, it just don't make any, like, it just don't, like, I'm just tired of the excuses. Like, again, I could be tired of the excuses and still think that Daniel Jones was dealt a bad hand. But at the end of the day, it's time to move on.
And I could be tired of the excuses and still think, you know what, maybe he has success somewhere else, but the time is up here, like, for real.
It's exactly. He's not, to me, at this
shout out to Nate
point
in the chat.
Time, you have division games, and this is the opportunity where, like look at yourself in the mirror and say, these games, if we're winning these games, they're on me. Barkley has been a shell of himself the last 3 weeks. What are you doing to step up your game? Zero. Nada.
Let me get this.
Zilch.
Let me get this member chat. Shout out to Bobby Woodruff. What up, Bobby? Hi, Hub. You're awesome. Let's go Giants. And with that, let's pop on Bobby here with you, Rob. Let's see what he got to say. Long-time Giants fan. What up, Bobby?
Hey,
Rocking
how
the
you
Yankee hat. How
doing?
you doing?
Rob,
What's going on, Bobby?
where you from, Rob?
From originally from Queens, but
Oh, I lived
with-
in Queens too, Rob.
oh, did you? Okay.
I lived in Glen Oaks. Where you from?
From Queens, Howard Beach. But
Oh,
now I
yeah,
live in North
okay.
Carolina. Now I live in North Carolina. Now I've been here for
Oh,
almost
North
2 years.
Carolina, nice down there.
It is.
Hub, how you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. A little
I was
tired.
depressed about Sunday, but this Sunday I think they're gonna get after Jalen Hurst.
The Eagles. Let's talk about the Eagles then. Yeah, what you're seeing,
Yeah,
Bobby.
we're gonna sack Jalen Hurst about 5 times, and he'll throw 3 interceptions.
Well, we made Dak Prescott throw 2 interceptions, so it's not completely out there.
That's very
Well,
true.
look
It's
what
possible.
we did to him last year. We had not a good defense last year, and we got 3 interceptions over a run around guy. Jalen Hurts.
Now, Bobby. Let's be fair now.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts is a way better player this year than he was last year, and that offense
Yeah, I'm
is a
not
lot better.
worried
You know,
about him.
they got AJ
I mean,
Brown.
They're just getting lucky. That's all they get lucky. That's it.
I don't know about that, Bobby. I think you
You
got to
know
give
how
them a
I
little bit
hate
more
the
credit.
Eagles. I hate the Eagles.
I hate, bro. The Eagles are the team I hate the most when it
Yeah,
comes to the
me
NFC
too.
East divisional rivalry.
I
But they are good.
listen. I posted it today on Twitter, and I almost threw up when I posted it. But slowly but surely, the needle's moving slightly. I'm really hoping a little bit that on Christmas Eve the Eagles just absolutely beat the shit out of the Dallas Cowboys, because Dallas Cowboy fans are just really pissing me off.
Yeah.
They are just
With the
really
OBJ
pissing me
thing or
off.
just in general?
just in fucking general. Like they're just like
Oh.
it's like, dude, like I go on there and Michael, I see on YouTube and I see Michael Irvin. I told you, about the Dallas Cowboys, and they 4 times they scored 49 points or higher more. You know what the NFL has total? 3. You know what the Cowboys have? 4. I've been telling you since 2021. Shut the frick up, Michael.
I know he sounds like him a lot. Oh my god, you did a great impression.
Dude,
of him.
like,
Holy
you
crap.
guys have not made to a conference championship game or a Super Bowl since 1995. You guys have had great rosters probably for the last 10 years. A lot better roster. Even the 2 years that we won a Super Bowl, y'all had a better roster than we did. And what the hell have you guys done since? Nothing. You guys haven't been
Nothing.
relevant since 1995. And you know what? I'll tell you what, today was a bad day for Dallas. You want to know why?
Why is
Ladies
that?
and gentlemen, you want to know
Oh yeah,
why
what
today
Jerry
was a bad
Jones
day
put
for
out?
Dallas?
Like, why would you put that out if you're trying to
Like
have
Jerry
OBJ sign with
Jones
you?
Jerry Jones pretty much sealed, in my opinion, sealed his fate on getting Odell Beckham. Like if I'm Odell, like to me, like I don't know if that's HIPAA or not like that, like putting that kind of shit out there. But like to me, like you're gonna put out my dirty laundry and try to affect other teams from potentially adding me on, right? That's the first thing. The second thing is, guess what, Dallas?
What?
Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't need surgery.
Oh yeah, Jimmy G might be back in time for the playoffs.
Jimmy G will
really?
probably be back for the divisional round of the playoffs, and I hope and fucking pray that Jimmy G
That would be the
goes
second year
right
in a
into
row if he
Dallas
eliminates them, right?
twice. He
Yeah.
beat him last year. Imagine Jimmy G comes in and beats your guys' ass one more time, and all of this hype, Micah Parsons, 11 sacks, and all of this 49 points. And then at the end of the year, we're going to be hearing about all the fucking excuses. Oh, well, we didn't get Odell. We needed this option.
Yeah,
we
where is
needed
he
this.
going
We
to?
needed
You guys
that.
know?
Give me a fucking break.
Where do you think
I can't
he's going
stand
to?
Cowboy fans. They're just so delusional.
Where's he going to? You know?
Who?
Odell, I don't know. That's a
He's
great
going to go to
question.
the Giants. He's going to go to the
Yes?
Giants.
You sure about that?
Rob
You put
has
on-
Rob has been convinced that Odell was gonna come to us even before Odell rumors to us has
How
been
you
started.
think he's coming to the Giants?
The reason why I think he's going to come to the Giants is, first and foremost, Odell's not playing this year. He's not healthy enough to play. It doesn't, even if he is, it doesn't make sense
To
Yeah,
for
risk
him to
anything.
potentially put his body at risk for just a few games
Yeah.
when you could potentially play an entire season next year.
All right.
We have one wide receiver that's on contract next year, and I'm not even including Kenny Galladay because he's gone. And that guy won't even be
God.
back until probably either week 11 or 13 of next year, and that's Wandale Robinson.
No,
So-
we also technically have Isaiah Hodgins on contract next year, I think.
Well, he's on a. They need
I
to
like
re-sign
that
him.
guy,
He's
though.
technically
Yeah.
not like they could put him onto the practice squad if they really wanted to, but they're gonna have to offer him a contract. He
You
doesn't
like
have.
him?
I don't think he's got a contract or whatnot, but I think they'll bring him back.
I
But
like him.
but you got, even if that were the case, let's just say, to play devil's advocate, let's just say that is the case and he's under contract. That's one guy that you can actually physically play.
Yes.
So they're going to go into the draft and they're going to probably draft 2 wide receivers. I could see them taking one in the second round, maybe in like the 4th or 5th round, taking another wide receiver. They're going to definitely take 2. And what are you going to do? You're going to roll out there with your rookie quarterback or Tyrod Taylor with a bunch of undrafted rookie free agents and say, hey, go ahead, Tyrod. Go ahead. Work your magic. Why not bring in Odell?
Mhm.
Okay. Let him work with Tyrod. Let him work with the rookie quarterback. You bring in your tag Barkley. Now you got your running back. Now you got a go-to wide receiver that can hold it down for the coming weeks. It'll entice them to go ahead and re-sign Sterling Shepard to a league minimal deal.
Mm.
And then you'll be rolling out there with 2 rookies that you
Yeah.
took within your 11 picks, 2 rookies. Maybe you go out and you sign Jarvis Landry for a very minimal deal because he's going to be a free
good.
agent, and Joe Shane drafted him in Miami. You go out and you give him like a veteran league minimal deal.
He's good.
You re-sign Sterling Shepard. Now you roll out there. Now
You don't think we could re-sign Slayton?
No.
Okay.
15.6.
Yeah, that's his drop percentage, second highest in the NFL.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's done. He's out.
Mm.
He's gone.
That's
So
very interesting.
I think they're going to roll out there with 2 rookies, Odell, Hodgins. They'll probably sign a couple of undrafted rookie free agents, depending, maybe if people get cut off the waiver wire from Buffalo that they're familiar with. Maybe they make a run, or Kansas City, see who's available. They'll make it work. But I think it just makes sense. Look, when you look at how the Giants handled this Odell Beckham situation, they weren't publicly campaigning for him. The players were not publicly campaigning for him. He went in and had a 2-day visit. Nothing was said. Nothing publicly was said. Nothing about workouts, nothing about this. And I even read an article that was posted probably about an hour ago where Joe Shane and them had no arguments, not arguments, but had no concerns about his health and where
Yeah,
he
his
was at.
health. And I think, I'm gonna be honest, that might be the thing that sways him, because it's like it shows that they're confident in him. But also, I also read another article that said that there's a part of him that legitimately wants to basically finish the unfinished business in New York. He legitimately wants to come back and help the New York team be great because that's where he was
That's a
drafted.
good. Yeah, at least he's.
Yeah, Jordan Renan posted. Jordan Renan, not officially, but Jordan
Mm.
Renan posted on Twitter on Saturday. He said, "This is how I view the OBJ situation from speaking with people and from the outsider looking in. Is that OBJ wants to be a Giant? There is unfinished business. He does. This is a city that he would love to raise his child in and start a family.
Wow.
It's just about whether the money is right. And
Yeah.
I would say 3 years, $8 to $10 million is more than willing. And what pisses me off is like you have people like Josina Anderson that like she'll do, and I quoted her today, like she says all of this other shit. I'm like, you say all of these things about why the Giants wouldn't be a good fit, but meanwhile, when it's Dallas, it's oh my God, it's Jerry World, it's this, it's that. What about the fact that they've got 19 fucking free agents that they got to sign next year? And and out of those 19 free agents, Tony Pollard is one, Dalton Schultz is another. You got CeeDee Lamb and Trayvon Diggs that you're going to have to start contract negotiations for. I mean, like, what else? I mean, why aren't you bringing that up? Why aren't you bringing up that they gave $100 million to a wide receiver before they paid the quarterback and then they traded him for a 5th round pick? Why don't you bring that up?
Wow. Who did they do?
And then people think that, oh, Dak, he'll redo his contract.
Bobby, that was
What?
Amari when they extended Amari and they traded him like a season later.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me! They
They gave him a $100 million contract, and then they traded him for a 5th round pick. And then then people think that Dak Prescott is going to redo his contract when you paid a wide receiver before you paid him.
I don't
But
think
you
so.
I would tell him to go scratch. No,
Yeah.
I'm not redoing my contract. Give me my $49 million.
Imagine if
Plus
they-
they forget how much Dallas botched the contract situation with Dak. Like that was never like
Oh, Jerry came out publicly and said he's like, I overpaid.
yeah, that was never a good situation. The contract
What
negotiations
about
with
if
Dak.
Prescott comes to the Giants?
He
then?
was pressured to do that. That all fell in favor of Dak Prescott because somebody just got a new contract and he was up and somebody was going to pay him and they couldn't afford to lose it because they didn't have a backup.
Yeah.
They were actually calling. There were actually people, and they said it again this year, that they thought that Andy Dalton was playing better than that because this was when Dak broke his ankle and they had Andy Dalton as the backup. And people actually thought that they should have kept Andy Dalton.
You know what's
and let
funny?
Dak walk.
And this is documented, and I do want to get back to Giants topic real quick after this. What's funny is this is documented. Jerry has never, and there's been no good reason for it. He's never been a big fan of Dak, even from his rookie year. Your mic cut out there, Rob. I don't know what's happening. Even from his rookie year when Dak came in over Tony, he was never a big fan of him, and ever since then, it almost looked like he's always looking for a reason to get Dak out of there. But I don't know if you guys agree.
What about if the Giants pick up Dak Prescott for next year?
He's not a free agent.
Oh, he's
Who?
not? Oh, I
No.
thought he wasn't going to play next year for the Dallas Cowgirls.
No, he's good. Let me ask y'all, Giants / Eagles related question. What you seeing for this? Well, actually, you already answered that, Bobby. So let me get a score prediction out of you, and then I gotta get the next caller on.
Okay, the score will be, I'm going to say 28-14.
Oh, we hold them down to 14.
Yep.
Impressive defensive performance there, Bobby. And before we
Well,
got,
we're going to intercept them 3 times and sack them 5 times.
Got you. Before we got, who's your current favorite Giants player on the team for this season?
Well, I like Barkley. I think he's going to come back this weekend.
And what you think about Dexter Lawrence, man? He been doing a lot of good
Oh,
things.
I like him. He's doing great this year.
Bobby, as always.
Who's next? Who do
What's
you
up?
have the next one on?
Next one on is Nova.
Who's Nova? Can I say hi to him before I leave?
Sure, real
I
quick.
never met Nova, I don't think.
What up, Nova? How you doing?
Yeah, what up, Kush? What up,
Hi,
Bobby?
Nova.
If you never
Did
met
I
me,
ever
hey,
meet
how are
you?
you?
Did I ever
Yeah,
meet you before?
Nah, I don't believe we've met. I've heard you speak in plenty streams though, like with Kush and the Entertainer and stuff.
Oh,
I
yeah.
am currently known as the most pessimistic Giants fan on earth. So
Yes,
there's
I
my
am.
little introduction.
So where are you from?
I'm from the Bronx.
You gotta be kidding me. I was born in the Bronx.
Yeah, I'm
And
from
you
the Bronx.
got-
I haven't lived there since I was a very young child though. Like I've
Now where are
spent
you
most
now?
of my life now. I live in a city called Reading. It's like a really small city in Pennsylvania, just outside of
Oh,
Philadelphia.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, I've lived there most of my life now, but I'm originally from the Bronx.
And you're a Giant fan.
Yep.
Good boy. Don't like those Eagles. Yuck.
Yeah, that's why I say I hate them the most because I live right in their backyard, so I've dealt with their fans
right?
essentially my
Yep.
entire life. So
Yeah, this kid on YouTube, his name is MG. He's from Philadelphia.
Gotcha.
He's a
Bobby.
good kid. Yeah, I gotta go.
I got it. Yep. Have a good one though, man.
I know
See
you
you,
know I love
Bobby.
to talk.
You're
This
all
guy,
good.
The other guy's on all night. This guy with the glasses over here.
Rob?
Yeah, he's on all night with you.
Yeah, he's going as long as he got that is.
Okay, gotcha. I'll see you guys later. You guys
Take it easy, Bobby.
Have a good
Bye
one,
now,
Bobby.
everybody.
Please.
I-
Let me pop on the other half because he just popped in. Old man uncle. Yo, how you doing, Fest?
Hey, put your fucking camera on.
Well, hello there. No, I would do no such thing.
Why is that? Because you got your fucking ass reamed by some those OGN guys, not OGN, BGN guys? Today?
First of all, don't you ever disrespect me ever again in your fucking life. You need to understand that anywhere. Oh, I'm sorry, Kush, man. How long you been gone, man?
46 minutes. You good?
Okay, cool. I should have asked permission first. I forgot. But listen, I went in there and I held my own. Okay, and I made sure that
If you needed backup, why didn't you tell me? I would have joined you.
I didn't. I clowned their entire chat. I clowned the other organizations. I did what I had to do there. So we're good. We're good.
Did you tell them how we're gonna get our asses kicked on Sunday?
I did. Yes, I did. I most certainly let it be known that the Giants are most likely going to take a loss, and that's okay, y'all. Like that's okay. It's season 0. Like y'all should really chill. But I mean, like, listen, it is what it is. But it's still the NFL, and on any given Sunday, any team can be any team. So we're gonna see what happens.
This is very true.
We're gonna see what happens. I'm listen. I can't sit here and be, too high or too low about this team in season 0. You're not gonna.
Real quick, just because this is somebody that has to go, and I really want to get his take as an Eagles fan, and everybody here knows him. He hasn't been on in a while. I'm gonna pop him on for him to say his piece, and then he's gonna dip right out right after. It's Big Play Slay, aka Franchise.
Good, Kush. How you doing, bro?
What's up, man?
What's up,
Go
Franchise?
ahead. Say your piece, man. Say your piece.
Yeah, we gonna destroy y'all.
All right, then. It was nice having you on.
It was great. It was great talking to you. Have a good night.
Yeah, man.
I'm playing with you. I'm gonna be humble about it this week because last year I picked us and I was very confident last year and we lost to you guys. So this week I'm gonna just stay humble about it. I get it. We have an 11-1 record, but I don't know. Wink Martindale could be like a little bit troubling for Hurts. We'll see.
Got you. And then to answer the question I asked earlier, 2017 Wentz or 2022 Jalen Hurts, who do you think is having the better season?
Bro, why you gotta put me on the spot? I don't know. Like I think I have to say Wentz. I just got to see how Hurts ends the season off, and then I can answer the question. But for right now, I'll say Wentz.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Hurts does more for the team. I think Wentz just had so far, like going into this week, like if we were looking, I think Wentz got hurt. What was it? Week 13.
It was 13,
like,
right?
Yeah, we were 11-2. I think he had like 33 passing touchdowns. So yeah, by about that time, yeah, I take Wentz.
Got you. All right, man. I'm not gonna keep you on longer. I know you have something to do, man. Have a good one, bro.
Yeah. I just had to dip right quick, but I had to still show some love, man.
Got you. Thank you, man. Have a good one.
Man. All right, y'all have a good one.
You too.
Yo, I can't. The Eagle stench is still here. Go ahead, Pest. Continue, man.
Who was that? Who was that came in here? Who was that?
That was Big Play Slay. Franchise. He's a young boy.
Wait.
Hey, give me just 1 second. I'm gonna be right back, y'all. Give me just 1 second.
I'm so confused. Wait. What's happened to you? What's happened to you, Kush?
What does that mean?
I mean, what's been going on with you? Like,
I've been good. I've been working mostly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Real busy with job and stuff.
I do see you on the Twitters talking about your JL. So okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, listen, I don't know what you guys have been talking about tonight because my the Korean, she's not feeling all that well today, and so
I hope she gets better.
So I've been taking care of my shorty. I mean, so I got her propped up and she fell and and everything's good. So I'll talk for a little bit, but listen, there's a video of me on the Twitters where I was kind of like making a joke about how it was real sunny, and then like afterwards I said that our offense was ass. I just want to let it be known that that's exactly how I feel. Okay, like our offense is an issue. Okay.
Yeah.
I do understand why some of the play calling is happening now that I'm looking at film and I'm seeing some other things. Okay?
Shed some light, please.
I mean, listen, the play calling actually wasn't all that bad. The play calling was really reactionary to what the Commanders like to do. They like to run a lot of nickel and dime sets defensively, and so what Daboll and Kefka wanted to do was essentially John Madden weak box them. Like that's what they was trying to do. They was legitimately trying to John Madden weak box the Commanders, and it just wasn't working. Okay, it really wasn't. It's not a bad plan. I mean, when you think about it, you know, we were trying to make the Commanders adjust what they do and like trying to make them adjust to our wacky stuff that we're running right now. Single back, tight wing T. All right, cool. Like if that's how you feeling, like I understand why, but like the execution was bad. Our interior offensive line looking crazy. Glowinski need to go sit the hell down somewhere because I don't think he's.
Bro.
I don't think he's healthy.
I've said it
I don't
so
think he's
much.
healthy at all.
He's
got
been
what,
probably
3-year
my biggest
contract?
disappointment this year. I was so hyped for it. I don't know, man.
I don't think that man is healthy at all because he does not look like the Glowinski I know.
That came straight from the Colts, right? Like
I watched the Colts, y'all. I watched the Colts. All right. So when Glowinski came here, I was like, dope. I like the way this man plays. Something's wrong with this man. All right. Something has got to be wrong. I don't know. Y'all know me. I'm just a fan, just like everyone else. I don't have an inside track on anything, but something is wrong with this man. Okay. I don't know what it is. Because there's no way that this man came to Rutherford and lost the ability to play guard at a high level. There's no way. Like the New York Football Giants are not that cursed, but they could be.
They could be. I was gonna say, like, we don't have the best luck with free agent signings, man.
So, like,
well, that's not true.
Anything it seems.
O-line, we typically do well. I mean, we did well with Sean O'Hara.
And listen,
we did great with Nate Solder.
And listen,
please don't ever say that name.
but listen, understand this. Understand this. There are a lot of players on offense that are contributing and playing as well as they can based on this roster. Okay, like just keep it funky. I still don't know what we do with Daniel Jones. Okay, but Daniel Jones had some really good plays, and then he had some other plays that I was like, come on, Daniel. Like there are Daniel Jones is such a weird situation, man. Like
I like Jones. I just feel like he's not consistent enough. Honestly.
That's my problem with him. That's been my problem with him since day one. I've always said I'm not on this train yet because there's no consistency, and so like that puts me in this weird ass spot where I don't want to feel over judgy of Daniel Jones because then it really feels like hate, right? But it's never really been about hating Daniel Jones. It's about the fact that this kid is in year 4. I understand that you're in a new playbook, but you're in year 4 and you're missing some routine passes that you shouldn't be missing. The passes that you can make, we know you can make them. We've seen you make them at a high level. No one here is telling you can't make these throws. We've seen you do it. We know you can, but then you don't. And so that's a weird spot. The tackles, I'm good with our tackles, man. Even though Evan Neal had his struggles here and there, and I know that. Listen, but he played a good ass game.
No, Evan Neal's I think has progressed very, very well.
I mean for his first game, first game back.
Yeah,
I don't think he played
bad. He played well. And
No,
honestly, like we all knew when Evan Neal was drafted, naturally he was gonna have these growing pains, not just because he's a rookie, but he's not playing in his natural position either. That's the one thing people gotta remember. So we knew that Evan Neal was gonna have these types of growing pains coming out, but I could say too, all the positives that we anticipated him to have, he's already displayed them like on a pretty consistent basis, that you can see that the talent is there and that he will continue to get better throughout his career.
100%.
So I'm not worried about Evan Neal.
I'm not tripping about our tackles, I'm concerned about our interior linemen, man, because like we gotta figure out what the hell going on there.
Man,
I'm sorry,
please draft a center this year, man, for real.
I don't think they're going to draft a center. I think they're going to go after a free agent. Glowinski is he's done after this year. I think they only signed him to a 1-year contract. Artem, what's
I
good?
thought he had 3 years.
I thought it was a 2
No,
or 3.
one. It was a 1-year deal.
Gotcha.
From what I'm understanding, and I think they're going to go after Mitch Morse if he makes it to free agency from Buffalo. That's who I think they're going to go after.
Yeah, I think Lewinsky is a 2-year deal with an out after one. Is probably what you mean, Rob. Like they could get out after one.
I'm going to pull it up because I think I looked it up. He only signed a 1-year deal.
That'll be interesting. Let's see. But I've been asking for basically like 2-3 years now for the Giants to just draft a center. I feel like having a good anchor in the middle there really would help out what has been really bad
1
guard
year.
play.
John Feliciano
okay,
signed a
gotcha.
1 year, $3.25 million.
No, I'm talking about Mark
contract with the
Lewinsky, not
Giants.
Feliciano.
Yeah,
Glowinski
Glowinski we're talking about. I know
my
Feliciano
bad.
was done.
Yeah,
after this.
Feliciano was a 1-year deal.
Yeah, I thought Glowinski had like a whole
Glowinski was
3
a 3
years.
year.
Yeah, it is 3 years.
Glowinski was 3 years, like $20 million.
Yeah, it was like 3 years, 18.
But I think they're going to go after Mitch Morse at the center position, and Feliciano will be done. I think I would like them to go after Mitch Morse. I think that would make the most sense. And then a guy that to keep your eye on, maybe potentially, would be like Ellington Jenkins out of Green Bay. He's a free agent as well. He's a pretty decent player. Could play tackle, could play guard, could play multiple positions. So he's done a pretty good job. He's going to be a free agent as well.
Mm-hmm. Nova Pest was speaking.
Yes.
He gave his thoughts on the game. Kind of what was irking at him. What about you, man?
Oh boy, bro, I don't like what can even be said at this point. Here's the thing, right? Like, I mean, I feel like all the mishaps that have happened, have been like debated into the ground already at this point.
Yeah.
I'm just more questioning certain things, like bro, why was Zion Gilbert the goldfish in over Rodarius Williams? And not even that I'm super high on Rodarius Williams, but he did perform fairly well from what we saw out of him in the Cowboys game. And it's like, bro, this Zion Gilbert guy was literally just signed to the practice squad and then elevated like immediately, and he looked terrible. So it's like I don't understand like some of the personnel decisions, and then it's like something most of us, I know me and you specifically, Kush, have been clamoring for like the longest time now, is like give Matt Breida and maybe even Gary Brightwell more snaps. And we saw it a little bit in the Dallas game, and I was thinking like, oh, okay, maybe they might.
Maybe this is a sign, right? And then they didn't do anything.
And they got nothing.
Yeah.
They got nothing. It was terrible. And then the thing is too, I know Saquon hasn't looked like as amazing as he has the beginning.
That's even more reason to use Matt Breida then.
Yeah, exactly. But my thing is too with Saquon in this last game, I felt like he was playing very well in the first half, but they gave him like no touches in the second half. But then at the same time too, when the offensive line is just getting blown up every play, like they were. I don't know. I feel like
Saquon, the thing with Rodarius is a lot of the wide receivers though for Washington, they're short and shifty, and Rodarius is big, and he's not a very speed guy. He's more like in your face, playing physical, which is why he was playing on Michael Gallup last week, where he could get kind of up in your face, play with him. Like Michael Gallup's not a big shifty guy. He's a tall wide receiver. And so it fit Rodarius Williams. That's why I think they were playing Gilbert. At least that's why, some people said is that they were playing Gilbert, because you got, Dotson, who's small and shifty, Samuel's 5'10", and McLaurin's 5'11", so they're short and shifty.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could see that. It just I don't. I just didn't like. I guess because Darnay Holmes was out, but it's just like, bro, like Gilbert, like, oh man, I don't ever want to see that guy ever again. Please keep him all the way away from me.
And you got the floor, by the way, Nova. Just because
Oh, all right.
Yeah, you got the floor. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean,
I got Mike Green in the back. He's been waiting for a minute.
All right. Like I said, like most of the most of the points have been talked about so much already, but it's like it's because they are so like critical, I think, to ultimately like what decided the outcome of this game, where it's just like, bro, like even that sequence after Washington scored, why are we throwing 3 straight bombs? Like, what the hell is this? Like, you don't want to be aggressive at any other point, and now
That
a
was what annoyed me
time.
the most. We couldn't take like a deep shot, or we couldn't be aggressive like you're saying for
Mm-hmm.
basically any point after the initial Darius Slayton deep catch, except for when it's like 30 seconds left in the game.
Yeah.
Like, come on,
But
bro.
that's the thing. It's like even at that time, like there was more than enough time where you can just do like a little dink and dunk drive to probably get Gano into field goal range. And I think it was on the side of the field that wasn't against the wind. So even if that the range they got into at the end, that wasn't enough because he was kicking against the wind. Who knows? They might have been able to get to that same point, and it would have been good enough to get the game winner. I don't know. It's just so many decisions, and then the people are still debating like, oh, like Mike Kafka honestly didn't make a bad play call when he decided to run Jones right before the half instead of taking a shot at the end zone. But it's like, I don't know. Even if you scheme up a running play that you think might have worked or could have worked, I would generally say 9 times out of 10, the logistics of getting in with a run at that point are a lot lower than at least trying to take a shot into the end zone. You know what I mean? It's just
Mm-hmm.
like, there's just certain things, and again, where I get it. I get, like, again, I'm not trying to like rag on this team. It is year zero of a rebuild. They've had a phenomenal season. We're gonna look at back as the season as a huge success, but it's just like, to get to the point where they were like just last month, and to be here now because I just feel like they're just not putting their best foot. This team may not be that good, but just this year alone, I feel like they've shown us that they are much better than what they've been performing for almost like the last 2 months now, and it's just frustrating. And I understand, like, yes, they're banged up and stuff, but again, like it's certain things, moments in games that are like these are avoidable mistakes that you guys are making, and you're
I
just
feel
not
like you just
executing
said it.
simple
Like,
things.
I don't
Like,
think anybody's really saying that we the Buffalo Bills out here, we're the best team in the league. But I
mm-hmm.
feel any fan watching could see that we're better. We're still
Yeah,
better
than the
than
shit
what we
they've been
currently
doing.
are.
Like, yeah. It's just I don't understand. It's really mind-boggling to me. And then I get like I watched, like Chris's breakdown video of the playoff scenario and stuff, and like, yeah, the having the tie doesn't change as much or whatever, but it's like a win almost would have like at this point solidified it for us, because honestly now, like, I don't see a scenario in which the Giants lose to the Colts. And again, any given Sunday, and I'm not saying the Colts are gonna. I still think they're gonna be a tough team. They still got Jonathan Taylor, and their defense plays pretty stout. Their defense isn't as bad as a lot of people may think it is, but it's still a game. I think the Giants can definitely win,
Mm-hmm.
and it just sucks that now the season is really going to have to come down to, can they win in prime time in Washington? And I hate that the game was flexed to prime time. Not just because the whole stigma of, oh, the Giants always suck in prime time, but it's just like, I don't want to wait all day to watch the game. Like, I want it done at 1 o'clock and that's it. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Can I
man, I don't
just
know. Go ahead.
can I just interject on this whole playoff thing, because this is I mean, we're at that point in the time of the year, right, where we can start talking about, like, legitimately talking about playoffs, right? I mean,
Hmm.
like,
Yeah.
it's
I mean, we're in the picture with like a month
yeah,
left. So yeah.
yeah, we're like at that point of the season where it's okay, cool. It's okay to talk about the playoffs. Great. All right, let's talk about the playoffs. I don't give a shit about the playoffs.
I
All
feel like
right,
I said that earlier
straight up.
in some sense.
I
Yeah.
don't I don't give a shit about the playoffs right now. And I don't say that to say, like, I don't want us to make the playoffs, or I don't want the Giants to get a taste of what playoff football is. I'm not saying
Hmm.
that. What I'm saying is that I don't care, okay? Because I said that this team was going to win between 7 and 9 games, and they
Yeah, me
won
too.
7. So I'm
Yeah.
okay. Like, that's where everything past even this damn tie,
Oh, I'm sorry. What is this that you're
for
showing
me
here?
is like bonus. Ooh, look at that. We
So
watching
this
film?
was I saw this because Nova brought it up. This is the run
Oh,
at the
shit,
end of
we
the
watching
half that he
film?
was talking about,
Oh, I love
Yeah.
this.
and believe it or not, it was actually a pretty nice play design.
Like Neal didn't pick it up correctly or something.
Evan Neal was actually the reason why it didn't work the way I think that Kafka wanted to on this drive.
Mm-hmm.
So right off the
Real quick, what's the score at this point right now?
Where'd my
this is right before the half.
Oh, so it's
wait, hold on a second.
So right off the jump here, good read by Daniel to tuck it. But look at the angle.
Can you hear me?
That
Can you hear
Evan
me?
Neal takes
Rob,
here.
Can anybody hear me?
He's got to go more outside.
Rob,
here.
I think he has us muted, bro.
He has to go more outside.
I don't
if he
think you
goes
can
on
hear
an
when he's in
outside
the
release
thing
and boxes
video.
this guy in,
Jones
Bellinger's got a
that's what
nice
they're
block
saying.
right here on the edge. He basically pushes this guy to the outside, forcing Daniel Jones to cut inside. He was basically blocking this as if this was like a standard run. If he takes the outside release and seals it, basically at this point it's Jones versus this guy against the corner here. And I think that Daniel Jones maybe with his speed could beat him to the corner, or at most, if this guy tries to fight inside, now at the last second, you bounce it out and you could take it to the corner. So it had everything to do with Evan Neal taking a bad angle on that block, which I think this is curl. I think this is curl right here. It's curl that ends up making the play. But that it was a bad block by Evan Neal that didn't allow it to actually work the way that it wanted to.
Neal taking the bad.
Bellinger got a good block on the corner, and I don't think that 22 would have made that play. But
Rob, can you hear us again now?
to me, that was the reason why the play didn't
Rob?
work the way it was supposed to.
Hey, Rob, can you hear us?
Type it in the chat.
Rob? Hello? Rob.
He's like, why is nobody speaking right now?
Hey, man. Hey, Rob. Hey, yo, man. Hey,
Yo, Pat, start roasting him, bro.
Hey, yo, Rob. Hey, yo.
Bruh.
No, I'm not.
Can y'all hear me?
Rob. Bro, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
us?
Can you hear us?
I can't hear you. No.
Bro.
Yo,
Why can't I hear you guys?
I don't know. Yo, he's like, why can't I hear y'all?
Like you tell us.
While Rob figures out those technical difficulties, Pez, what were you gonna say though?
Yeah.
Oh man, I was talking about the playoffs, wasn't I?
Say something.
Yeah, I don't
What's
give
up?
a shit. Shut up.
I can't hear you. Fuck. Hold on.
Oh, Ripper.
All right, go ahead.
In the chat, boys.
Oh my god, man. GG's, Nuri. All right. Man,
The playoffs. Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of with you though. Where like I'm not
This team
expecting
is
even if they go to
overachieved
the
already.
playoffs. It's not like
Yeah,
I'm
like, I don't
expecting.
Hear you now.
Yeah,
I'm not expecting
like,
them to do anything.
I can remember a few weeks back people talking about, oh, we should be
fuck?
making these trades to get these better. Hey, yo,
No,
what is going on?
I was
Rob's-
never on that crowd.
Rob's stuff is bugging out. If that's Rob's
Yeah.
stuff over there in the corner, Rob needs to hit. He needs
like
to
cutting in and out.
reboot his whole ass machine, the entire thing. He just needs to reboot that shit
Oh, that's
and then bring it
tough.
back.
I can't hear anything.
Yeah,
Damn.
but we can hear you. But we can hear you.
Man,
Say
you
something
should've roasted
crazy,
him.
please.
You should have
Please say
roasted him, bro.
something crazy. Wait. Everybody. Shh. Come on. Give us something good, man.
He's not gonna give anything, man.
Say something crazy.
Right.
Just say,
He's trying to get this man
come on, man. Just
canceled,
come on,
bro.
say-
Canceled,
come
yeah.
On, come on, man. Come on, bro.
Yeah, but
Hey,
nah,
Bob.
I'm kind of with you with the whole playoff thing. My whole thing is the only reason I kind of want them to go is just like I think it would be a good like thing like for this team moving forward, like to make the playoffs for the first time. In so
Oh,
long.
absolutely.
And it'll
absolutely.
go a long way.
But
for
like at
building
the end of the day,
morale
I
and
think
just
I'm with
making
you
it more
two.
attractive. Like,
I'm with you two at the end of the day, where it's like we already like beyond the goal that I
Yeah.
feel like the team set out to achieve this season.
my thing is too
Yeah.
that it's just like if they don't make it this year, like I'm expecting a much better team next season, but also they're gonna have
Right.
a real difficult schedule, and
Yeah.
like it's like I don't know, they still might miss the playoffs again next season. So it's like I feel like this season, you know, the playoffs are such a rare thing for the Giants. Even those years that they won the Super Bowls, like it's not like they were in the playoffs every single year. For a little bit they were, yeah, but like Eli Manning only made the playoffs 6 times in his career. You know what I mean? Like this doesn't happen to us. We don't go to the playoffs. Like as Giants fans, we don't watch our team in the playoffs. It's not something that happens. So for us to have like an opportunity that I don't think is gonna be present or something that is going to be like in the discussion very often, at least not for another few years. It's just like I just want to see them get there because it would just, I know it would feel so good for like the team and its morale, and it would mean a lot to the fan base. That's my whole thing on it. Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna throw a fit if they don't make it. Again, like I said, I will be kind of disappointed just because like at 7-2, especially with the games that they looking at them the way they looked at that time, it's like you almost expect to make the playoffs. And
Oh,
I still
yeah.
think that there's a chance. Like, you know, I'm not completely throwing it away for them, but it's
But
just
Nova,
like
I don't mean to cut you
Yeah.
off, but let me get your last thought because I don't want to get Mike Green waiting any longer. You've been
I
back here
got
for like
you.
an hour
Last
now.
thoughts are,
Yeah.
does anybody as fans even care about the Eagles game? I feel like we're already just like, all right, take the L and like
I
let's
will
just,
always
like,
care
we're
Nah,
about.
man.
I will
Let's go-
always
let's
care
go-
about the game.
Yeah,
I will
let's
always
go,
care
let's
about the
go
Eagles
watch
game,
the
man.
Giants fight the Eagles.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
what are you
gonna-
talking about?
like I said, I live
Listen.
right
I'm still
outside of
excited about
Philadelphia,
this
so
game.
of course
Shout
I'm
out to
still
Nerd
gonna
Cage
watch
in the
it.
chat.
But it's just like, are we all gonna be like up in arms if they end up like losing or even getting steamrolled by the Eagles? Or are we just
Nah,
like, all
if they
right,
get
like, we'll
steamrolled,
take
nah.
it?
I'll be a little tight if it's like we get it close and we lose because of ourselves. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way I'm gonna be angry.
I
Really.
think it's gonna look a lot like the Dallas game, like where like they're gonna have some opportunities and maybe like mess some of them up early on, and they'll keep it kind of tight, but then like over time, like slowly but surely, the Eagles will kind of just start to pull away with it just because they're the better team. I think that's kind of how it's gonna look, but we'll see. You never know. If they do beat the Eagles, though, I'm getting arrested, bro. Like it's raps out here. I'm getting arrested.
Yo.
We do not condone getting arrested for anyone, just so y'all know.
Yo,
if you
thank
can
you,
avoid
Nova.
getting arrested, please do.
Oh yeah, thank you, Kush.
Have a good one, bro.
You too.
Let's get in. Well, actually, before I get in, Green, shout out to Sergeant Mayhem, Nerd Cage, Chuck Taylor, Bobby Murphy, Big Dash Nose, Kashif, Mike B, everybody else in the chat. Thank you guys so much for the support. Hit that like button, that subscribe button if you're new, and hit that share button. I don't know what's happening with Rob. Hopefully, pop back in soon. But Mike, what's up, man? Oh, there's a lot of noise coming through there.
What's up? Hold on. Let me get to a room.
How you doing, though, Mike?
Good evening. I'm good. Good evening. How y'all doing?
It's all right.
That better?
Yeah, better. Could be better.
Fitz, what's up?
In regards to how we doing, could be.
Man, you know what? I just heard and seen a lot. Maybe it's just me, but I ain't scared of these goddamn birds. I'm really not. I mean, yeah, they 11-1, whoop-de-doo, but who the hell have they really played?
They've played quite a few
Outside of
teams.
Dallas in Minnesota.
Hold up, Pest.
They were good.
Pest, are you still there, by the way?
Bro.
I'm still here. I'm letting this brother talk.
Go ahead. All right.
I'm just saying, man. Like, it's a rival game, and let's not act like players can't get pissed off. You know, and we at home. We ain't in Philadelphia. We in New York. Damn it. And we just supposed to lay down because these green and white fuckers are 11-1? No. I'll be damned. Not today. As a Giant in my heart, not today. They could get their head. They could be 11-2. That exists. They could be 11-2. It's been a rough month for us, but last time I checked, what team don't have a rough patch in their season? If it don't happen first, it don't happen in the middle, it can happen later. You don't want it happening later because that means your ass is exiting in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas been showing this example for over 20 years. So, we have more than a chance to win this game, bro. It's not over. Everybody act like we at a funeral, bro. Nobody died. We good. We straight. We just need players to focus and execute and do what we do, and we'll be all right. And we need to use our weapons instead of trying to get certain people to football. Hell, use what we got. The practice squad players, yes. But if we can use Isaiah Hodgins, we can use Richie James more, use Darius Slayton more, And last time I checked, I know we don't like to say his name on this channel, but $18 million is just given to somebody. Can we throw him a ball? Can we let him at least earn a happy meal out this damn check? I'm just saying. Can we give him a slant, a fade, something? More than once. If he don't catch the ball, like what, screw you, we ain't going to you no more. No, force feed him. Force feed him. We ain't got a choice. We ain't got nobody else to throw to. We got to do something to get people out the box. Everybody want to complain. Saquon numbers is going down. Your damn numbers will go down too if the whole damn team trying to stop you because you ain't got no threat on the outside. We got to have some type of threat on the outside. That's why I've been saying since March. I was the first to say this, Kush, that somebody coming back home.
You said it a long time ago.
That's and more than ever, we need him now. And not just for this year, but for a couple of years.
Yo, can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
RZB, what's good?
What's up?
Man, not much. Another day, another dollar. But yeah, man, we all right. We straight.
All right.
It's season ain't far from over.
Let me get Pest. Let me get your thoughts on the opening monologue there.
Listen, I'm not in the business of yucking somebody's yum, okay?
That sounded nasty.
Shut up. I understand. What this smooth brother is trying to convey. I get the points that this distinguished gentleman is making here, okay? Because we can beat the Eagles. This is the NFL. Any given Sunday, any team can beat any team, and we can damn sure beat the Philadelphia Eagles, okay? I don't want anyone to ever think that I'm going to sit here and feel like, we should tuck tail and run or cower, crawl into a ball and accept defeat. I'm not about that life. We're going to go out there and we're going to punch them in the mouth as many times as we can. And
what up,
hopefully
Max? How
we
you
can
doing?
punch them more than they punch us. All right. So I'm with that. But I'm gonna be honest. There was a lot of other stuff that was said by this fine, upstanding gentleman, and I kind of drifted off into another plane of existence because So I don't want to gatekeep anyone's fandom, and I don't want to sit here and tell anybody that their opinion is crazy, because I don't think that this gentleman's opinion is crazy. I just don't all the way agree with everything that he's saying. But I understand where he's coming from. Is that fair? Is that fair? Because I don't want to start nothing crazy here. Is that fair?
That's fair.
It's fair. It's fair, Pest. Okay, you know what? They know, but you don't. Pest. I'm not just a fan. I was a part of this organization, sir.
I mean,
at one point. I was. So when it comes to the Eagles, the hate is strong. Trust me.
Yeah, I can feel the hate for the Philadelphia Eagles emanating off of your body, sir. And it's fueling me, right? It's fueling me with a rage that I tend to only feel when I'm going to step on a football field. So I understand. I want us to beat these damn Eagles, man. I want us to beat these damn Eagles. I just
You know what, Pest? I ain't never told nobody this, but I'm gonna tell y'all this. I got an auntie that stays in Philadelphia. She's a huge Philadelphia Eagles fan. And it makes me sick to my stomach, but she is. She bought me a Christmas gift for 1 year. Y'all take a wild guess what she bought me.
She bought you a Randall Cunningham jersey?
No, a Deshaun Jackson jersey.
Ooh, I wouldn't accept that.
Ooh,
That's the first
that's
time
good.
ever. That's the first time ever in my life. And she bought a 2010 of all the years she bought me a Deshaun Jackson jersey.
Oh my,
Just right after the
Mac
fucking punt return.
oh my
Max in the
goodness.
chat. Max says she's not your auntie no more.
Wait,
Hey,
wait, hold on,
we
hold on.
fail auntie.
Hold on.
Oh man.
Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. This is the first time, the only time ever, I took the damn jersey. I went in my grandpa's backyard. I found all the gasoline. I found all the matches and all the wood I could find and burnt the fuck out of it in her face. And walking away from the fire and say, "Go blue." And she know I meant it.
Damn.
I mean, listen.
So
Listen, man. It runs deep. It runs deep. I understand. Okay, let me just say this. The Odell Beckham Jr. thing. I can't get around this Odell Beckham Jr. thing, right? Because like, why we acting like we looking at 2-finger catch in the air, legs up, Odell Beckham right now? Like, why ain't nobody talking about the I tore my ACL and I'm still trying to get my body right, Odell Beckham? That's what I'm trying to understand. Like, why is no one talking about the Odell Beckham that was injured all year?
Okay, you know what, Piss? I'm gonna ask you a question. Is an injured Odell Beckham Jr. better than any receiver we got on this roster right now?
Hey, oh my God! You can't tell me that you want to try to trot a higher overall Kadarius Toney. A higher overall.
First of all, Kadarius Toney ain't on the team. Don't do that, Piss. Don't do that.
Listen, I'm just saying because he's hurt. He's hurt, so he's not going to be reliable. Like, he's not going to be on the field.
He's got
all this fucking talent, but can he get on the field? Like, that's no one's asking this question. Everyone is just yelling, "Pick me," and I don't understand why. This man tore his ACL. Like, this man tore his ACL, y'all. And that was in January.
Next offseason.
And that was it, but that was in January, though. That wasn't like it was last season. It was January when that happened. But everybody is talking about Odell Beckham Jr. like that's not the scenario. Like, that's not the situation. I can understand if we're talking about 3-finger catch, legs up in the air. You know what I'm saying? Balls pointed directly at Eli. You know what I'm saying? If that's who we was talking about, we could be up in arms. But my brother in Christ, this man just tore his ACL in January. I mean, what are we talking about? What are we talking about?
Okay, Piss, I'm asking you a question. What's a better option?
Listen,
for this receiving core right now, what's a better option?
Listen, the better option right now, because I know all y'all trying to be like super hyper competitive, and I respect it. I respect it because I want to see competitive games. I want to see the Giants win, right? I want to see all that. Right? Can no one tell me different? Can no one tell me different that I don't want this team to succeed? Right? But like, I don't know if we want to put Odell Beckham on this team unless he is 100% healthy. And do we know if he's 100% healthy? Because he just went to Dallas. He just went to Dallas.
Wait. First of all, Piss, let's get him the proper respect. America's trash. Keep going. I'm listening.
Cool. All right, cool. So he was just in Dallas with Jerry Jones, who will break the fucking bank for a Super Bowl. And if he feels like Odell Beckham Jr. is the missing link, he'll do whatever he needs to do to make it happen. and Odell Beckham Jr. is no longer in Dallas.
Okay, two things. One, he was never going to damn Dallas. Two, he was not going to portray his friendship and Saquon like that. And then three, Dallas got enough fucking people to pay. They ain't got no money for Odell Beckham Jr. They got to pay CeeDee Lamb. They're going to have to figure out Michael Parsons soon. They got to pay Tony Pollard next year. They got to figure out what the hell they're going to do with Tyron Smith.
By the way,
ain't signed no
let's
long-term deal.
let's
He
wrap
gotta
up the
get
OBJ
redone.
conversation though, and Mike, I'm gonna get your last because I got like 5 other people to get on here. But let's wrap up the OBJ conversation though.
I mean, listen, I'm personally not worried about an Odell Beckham Jr. right now. I'm continuing to watch the process. That's what I'm doing. All right. So that's what my focus is, because this is year 0. This is season 0, y'all. You got to remember that. This is season 0.
But just because it's season 0, Piss, that don't mean that you can't make no noise in season 0. And then on top of it as well, you want other independent free agency to see you're willing to do what it takes to win, and not just tank the goddamn season and hope for some damn draft picks that's not guaranteed to pan out.
I'm sorry. We
You
talking
want
about
other
Odell
independent-
Beckham?
No, not just Odell Beckham, but anybody. Period. I'm saying you want other people to see, like, okay, nobody wants to come to a losing situation. So it ain't just about OBJ. It's linemen, linebackers, corners, everybody.
But my brother, are you not seeing, even though this team has lost some tough games and we've tied and whatnot, do you not see the winning culture that's being built here? Do you not see the players vouching for this coach and vouching for this general manager? You think Rose's not going to get around? That Giants is where it's getting ready to be at. We ain't got no money right now, but we about to have some. Like, come on. But you talking about trying to get
Odell Beckham want to be a part of that.
We talking about getting OBJ, Odell Beckham Jr. right now, right? Which is going to hamper, unless he's getting ready to take a sweetheart deal, which I doubt he's going to. But who knows? I could be wrong, right? He could love the New York Football Giants, and since Dave Gettleman's not here, he's back with open arms. And I'll take a little bit less money to help the team be better. Endorsements, blah 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 blah. Maybe that might happen. I'm not saying it won't, but listen. When we get into this offseason, we're going to be able to fix this roster because this GM knows what the fuck he's doing. So, like, just enjoy what we get in season 0. Enjoy the ride. Talk your shit when we win. And when we lose, just be quiet and just go, yeah, no worries. We coming. That's what it is. That's where we are. And that's okay. It doesn't make you a fake fan or an idiot or anything like that to have that opinion. That's just me.
Yeah, but PTA, the thing is, the Giants are going to have like $58 million prior to them cutting Kenny Golladay, which is going to free up about $14 million. They can also go ahead and
hold on. I just want to say I really want to wrap up the OBJ conversation though. Let's see if we can just wrap this up real quick.
Man,
there are options that they could go ahead and they could redo Leo and stuff like that and free up some more cap space. I think that having him on the roster, at like 10 million, 8 to 10 million isn't a bad deal for 3 years, and it's going to add help to Anthony Richardson, because I'm going to speak it into existence. Anthony Richardson.
Welcome to the train, by the way, Rob. Welcome to the train.
I'm just trying to be realistic. And, I saw a report today that there's thoughts that he's going to be a 2-year project, so he may fall out of the first round. So, I mean, if he's there when they're picking, I'm not letting him get out of the first round. I'm not taking that chance. I'm taking him in the first round. But if we have like a top 20 pick, given like where we finish, I'm taking him right then and there. If I don't have to move up and give up other capital to move up to get him, great. 100%.
Got you.
What you looking at me like that for? You don't like Anthony Richardson?
Well, I'll say this. Give your thoughts on Richardson, Mike, and then your last thoughts, and I have to get
come on, Mike.
Manny
You don't like AR-15, baby?
First of all, I'm a Florida Gator fan. I love AR-15, but
Okay. I'm a Gators fan too.
I just, I, I just, I just feel like it's other things that we need to do. And Daniel Jones ain't bad. 5 game winning drives can't be ignored, gentlemen, too. Can this man get a number one receiver before we ship his ass off? Can we give him somebody he can depend on to catch just once in his career? Please, please, just somebody. Everybody want to talk about the Josh Allens and Patrick Mahomes. Damn it, they got the Stephon Diggs and Tyreek Hill. We ain't had that shit yet. Can we get somebody before we just sell this man to go straight to hell and get the hell out of blue and white and red, please?
So
Just
Mike,
once.
let me ask you this question, and I brought it up earlier today on Twitter. Would you think that Cam Newton is a passing or running quarterback in his prime? Was he a passing or running quarterback first?
He was running,
Okay.
but he could throw the ball too.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. But primarily, when you think of Cam Newton, you think about him running the football, right?
Yeah, because they was a power running team.
Okay. So when in 2015, when they went 15-1 and went to the Super Bowl, who were his wide receivers? Do you know who his wide receivers were?
Ted Ginn Jr., Devin Funches. He had Greg Olsen at tight end. He had number 10 that's slipping my mind. It's coming to me. Philly Brown, yeah. He had Jonathan Stewart at running back. He had a solid offensive line.
My point is that he went 15-1 with no name wide receivers. The only weapon he had was Greg Olsen on offense.
Oh yeah, and Kevin Benjamin, they got hurt in preseason.
He got hurt in preseason. My point is that I get that there aren't top tier wide receivers on the roster, but at some point it has to be definitive that the fact that we don't have skill positions is what's holding back Daniel Jones, and I can't say that.
Really?
I can't say that the wide receivers are holding back Daniel Jones from succeeding when I don't feel that he's definitively stating, definitively keeping us in the game, and they're just failing in all aspects. Prime example, look at this year. I think it was Thursday Night Football. Bears, Washington. Justin Fields threw how many passes to the Bears wide receivers to win that game? And they just kept dropping the football. And he was making some nice throws. And they just kept dropping the ball. That's why they went out and they got Chase Claypool.
Now, Rob, let Mike respond. Mike, respond. And I'm going to have to get the next person on because somebody just dropped out from the line. So I'm not trying to get other people to drop off. Yeah.
Oh, my bad. To respond to that is they got Chase Claypool and they still ain't really just using him. And that's the same thing happening with Daniel Jones. If Darius Slayton, catch this goddamn ball on Sunday, we might be having a different conversation instead of a goddamn tie. Evan Ingram dropping the ball when he was here. He ain't had nobody consistent to catch the ball but goddamn Golden Tate. And that was the corpse of Golden Tate.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I said, we get this man a receiver, who knows? We might not have to draft an RF-15. We can go center, guard. But how about a goddamn linebacker? Something we ain't drafted since 84. To help the defense get stronger. Just saying.
Mike, thank you so much for calling in, man.
Y'all be easy. Go Big Blue. Let's beat these damn Eagles, bro. Quit being depressed.
Going in with confidence. Hopefully we get them sacks. Have a good one, Mike.
Later, Mike.
All right, Pest. I know you got a slide, man. Thank you for calling in, staying as long as you could, man.
Yes, sir. Hey, I appreciate y'all. Hey, we'll see y'all tomorrow.
Facts.
Wednesday night. You know how we do. So catch y'all later. Y'all take care. Deuces.
Take care, man.
Later,
Peace.
Pest.
And next up, we got Manny. Manny, what's up, man? How you doing?
Yo, what's good? Can y'all hear me?
Can't hear you.
Loud and clear.
was good. It was good. It's good to be here. It's good to be here with my man Kush, the young phenom. I appreciate you for doing this, man. Hope you're good. Good to be here with the king of the spaces himself, RB0. It's nice to be followed up by Super Bowl champ and OG Pest. But yeah, no, I appreciate you guys. How are y'all doing? How's the holiday season?
All good. Working a lot this week. What about you?
Hell yeah, same thing, same thing. Can't complain. We're blessed, bro. We're blessed. Obviously, the game could have been better. Obviously, I mean, tying is what's that saying? Like kissing your sister.
I don't know about that. I saw that. What's his name? Charles Leno Jr. said that, bro. I was like, all right, man, this man needs to stop.
Yeah, no, I mean it's obviously that sucks. That how the tie went. It doesn't affect anything playoff wise, whatever. But it just stinks because, man, I know we all really every time someone asks NFC wise, who do you hate? It's always Cowboys and Eagles. No one really mentions the Commanders, but they also got a fan base that's just very annoying
You know
to deal
what's
with.
Kid Blue has said a lot. I think Nate might have said it a little bit as well. The thing with the Commanders is that after they had that 2020 season, man, they have just been so annoying since.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, shoot, I don't know if you can see the picture. I got a Heineken bottle up because I really thought I was gonna pop that one for a victory after the game. So I already told my wife, shout out my wife, that it's either gonna be, after the Wednesday, it's either gonna be after this 2 weeks from now when we play Sunday night, either cork that open or it's gonna be Christmas Eve. So either way, I'm hoping that I can drink that sooner than later. But yeah, no, Washington football fans are, they're one of a kind in a not good way. But yeah, I mean, obviously I'll just go and just start talking about the season. I ain't talked on these waves in a minute or anything, so I'll just go ahead and say, obviously the season has been fun overall. You having a coach and a staff that you actually like trust, and at the end of the day, we're fans, right? But you know, seeing just what they do and having and like realizing like, oh, this is actual like football stuff. It's not, it's not like a gentleman who's living off Super Bowls of the years past, or an older dude who don't know what the hell he's doing, or a coach that's way in over his head. Like it's an actual staff that we can trust and believe in. So that's been awesome. I know everyone's really trying to go for Kafka's head, which is crazy. When we were 7-2, he was going to be the head coach of, whichever team had an opening. Now this man isn't even qualified to be a OC in the league anymore. It's crazy just how much it changes. And I'm kind of like with Pest, how he was the whole time with it. Like, hey, listen, it's been great, but it's year zero. We didn't really have much expectations coming into this season. So it's not like we want to lose. It's not like you want to lose games or whatever, and you want to be out of the playoffs. It'd be cool to be in the playoffs, but it's year zero. So, we're the foundation's being built and the pieces are there. And we just got to just keep building. It's knee-jerk reactions just to get rid of somebody right away or to get rid of something right away. So that's where I'm at in that instance. DJ has gotten a bad rap. It stinks, but unless he does something miraculous this season with 5 games left, possible playoffs. If he does something crazy, okay. But other than that, I don't see him staying much. I think that's good. We're fine. I think this team deserves to have their GM and coach choose their guy, whoever that guy is. More than likely, is going to probably be a rookie if they had their choice. Saquon, question mark. Whatever they want to do, I'm down with. I'm excited for the pieces there, like Kayvon's coming into his own, Aziz coming in on his own after the injury. Even though we have patchwork offense in the interior, done with Feliciano, and that's hurts to say, done with him. But even though we have a secondary that's patchwork, we still got some things there. So I'm excited. I won't go ahead and talk much more, after I hear y'all's response. But yeah, I'm still excited for what future holds.
I'm definitely agree with you on the coach thing with fans are way too extreme with the reactions with the coaching, and this has come from somebody that has been, I would say, very critical of Mike Kafka this year. I've essentially since the beginning of the year I didn't like his play calling. I always called it out in the wins, in the losses, and everything. I was like, I feel like he could be doing better. I feel like some of his game plans are stupid. I don't understand what he's doing on the field. Why this, why that? But at the same time, I always say he's a first-year play caller. He can improve in the offseason, whether just by naturally improving or maybe he has next year better personnel that suits what he wants to do. But he's a first-year play caller. I'm not calling for him to get fired yet. I feel like that would be a stupid thing to do. So definitely agree with your point there. Rob, what about you? Is Rob even there? I just noticed. Oh, he is. Go ahead, man. What about you, Rob? Wow.
My bad. I was reading something. Sorry about that.
You're good. Go ahead.
Sorry, my audio cut out. What was that? What did you say to me?
Well, there was a rather long thing that Manny was talking about.
Yeah.
So
been a
My
while
bad.
since
My
I've been on
audio,
these.
my audio had cut out. I couldn't hear anything, so I thought I was trying to get it fixed. My fault.
you're good. I guess he was just giving his general thoughts on the season, talking about fans' extreme reaction when it comes to coaches, calling for them their head when, just a couple weeks ago they
Oh,
were praising them and stuff.
oh yeah. As far as like fans, calling for Daves and Kafka and all this, like, I mean, like, what do you like? What are people expecting? Look at the situation that they were brought into. Look at what they inherited. And for the most part, like even the rookie draft class, other than Darian Beavers and Wandell Robinson, like going down, look at what like Evan Neal in his first game back after having the MCL sprain didn't play a bad game. Other than having the bad game against Dallas, he's been playing fairly well. He's actually had a better rookie year than Andrew Thomas did when Andrew Thomas was a rookie. So he's now, granted, he's playing right tackle, not left tackle, but he's still having a good year for being a rookie. Kayvon looks like he's kind of falling into his own. Like the Dallas game, he followed it up with a nice game against Washington. Now he's going to be able to go up against another formidable opponent in the Philadelphia Eagles, where hopefully he can have another nice game. And if he plays against Philadelphia the way he's been playing against Dallas and the way he played against Washington, I mean, he's going to cause some havoc for a lot of the left tackle that's over there, and the right tackle that they got in Lane Johnson. I can't wait to see what he does against Lane Johnson. And now you got Aziz, who played 40%, which I thought he was going to be on a pitch count. A lot of people thought he was going to be a pitch count, but he played 40% of the snaps on Sunday against Washington. He's definitely going to get.
The thing
ramped
is
up.
I think Aziz said even in the after interview, he still said that he was limited. They played him on limited snaps, so that means he's going to get more involved.
Yeah, and it was surprising.
Yeah, he's going to go up to probably 60 to 80% of the snaps, I think, on Sunday against Philadelphia. And the more he's on the field, the better. Because
yeah,
like, dude, that is I said it like after the game, like that is going to be a sick combination between having Aziz on one side and having Kayvon on the other side. Like,
been saying essentially since Kayvon got drafted. Y'all know I'm a huge Aziz fan. I feel like he has what it takes to be a legit force in the NFL.
Yeah.
And I mean, it also helps.
There's a small possibility that we get a Dory back this week,
and it also helps on that. It also helps on the edges having dudes like Dex and Leo.
Oh, Dex is just a monster.
Like that D line is. They kept talking about Washington's D line, but the Giants also had their first rounders on there as well too.
It's just that we got to stay healthy. Like that's
matchup.
it. Like Leo almost looked like he was about to exit the game, and I was worried. I'm like, yo, we need to stay healthy. And shout out to Bobby Murphy, the Eagles fan, for the $2 super chat. I'm not gonna read it, except for the I got tired of waiting part. But thank you for the $2 super chat, Bobby.
No, and here's the other thing too. Like the Aziz and Kayvon were doing what they did, and Leo went off the field. He didn't play the rest of the game. I don't know if he had like something going on with his neck or what, but he never went back out onto the field.
And they said he was sore and shit. So
and so they were doing well. So you get Leo back on the field this week. Hopefully, it's nothing too serious. Aziz gets a little bit more, some more snap counts, or more involved in the games. Gets his snaps ramped up to, maybe 60, 70%. Listen, we're gonna lose more than likely, but I would love to eat that crow. I think it's going to be – I don't think it's going to be a big blowout game. I've been saying that they're going to put 50 points on us, but if I'm being honest, it's a divisional game. It's going to be a tough game. It's in New York, obviously. I'll say the game being, I said like 35-17, 35-20, something like that. I don't think it's going to be a massive game. But the way that they can win this game is Barkley and Jones typically have some pretty good performances against Philadelphia. They've both played well against Philly. And so if Barkley can somehow, we've been saying it the last 2 weeks, but if Barkley can somehow get going, and they can get Bellinger involved, let Bellinger, use them, take advantage of the middle of the field. I want to see them get Isaiah Hodgins more involved. They're going to need him to be more involved to try to take advantage of some of the, to take advantage of this. Gardner Johnson is not playing. I think he's still out. They reactivated Jordan Davis, but I think he's probably going to be on a pitch count maybe. They got to just control the time of possession and keep Jalen Hurts and the offense off the field and refrain from them from scoring points. And they got to get after Jalen. They have to get after Jalen Hurts. Have to get after Jalen Hurts. This could be a game where they go ahead and maybe reactivate Landon Collins and let him be a spy. Maybe they use Tony Jefferson and let Tony Jefferson be a spy for Jalen. You need to put a spy up for Jalen. I think that they can get home with Kayvon and Aziz and Dex. I don't think that they need to do – I'm not saying don't do any exotic blitzes, but they may be able to get home with Dex, Leo, Aziz, Jihad, and Kayvon, where they could just put a spy up and then just cover on the back end. They might be able to do that. I mean, they could probably get – so who knows? But, that's what they're going to have to do.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah, I agree with that as well too. And I feel like Dexter always has a good game versus Jason Kelsey. I know he's a really good center, but I always feel like Dexter. He has a good game pretty much against any center. But I feel like him and Jason Kelsey always have a good battle. And I agree, with everything Rob said. Also turnovers as well too. I think they're Quez Watkins, who's been a good third option for them, speedster. I think he's out this game. I also think Robert Quinn, he's on IR, so I think he
they
won't
just
be
put him on
playing.
IR today.
So they're going to be I think this is going to be another good test for Evan Neal. I know he plays on the right side, so it's not much. It's not like he's going against on the left tackle side, but he still has had moments going against DeMarcus Lawrence or Rashawn Gary before he got out for the season. Preston Smith a few shots. He's had obviously that Jacksonville game before he got hurt. That was a good line he went against. I think I hate saying this, but I really feel like Rob, you made a really good point about Cam Newton's 2016 season. No one's going to compare Daniel Jones to Cam Newton. No one's going to do that, but Cam was the team that year. He was the force in that team on that 15-1 run. I think Daniel Jones got to take this game over. Kind of like that one Thursday night game where he tripped, minus a trip, but he did enough in that game to win. And and that was a drop by the Evan Ingram. The defense let out another touchdown at the end. Boston
The drop by
Scott
Evan Ingram game we
kills
lost,
us.
so that was a different game.
Yeah, was that? No, I think it was in 2020 that Thursday night game.
The drop by Evan Ingram game was a different game because we lost that game. I think it was on a Boston Scott touchdown.
That's the same game I'm talking about. And there's multiple drops, obviously, so it's hard. They all kind of turn into one, right, with Evan Ingram. But I think Daniel Jones just has to have that game. I don't know if he can have that game. I really don't. I'm on the AR train with everyone here, choo-choo. I don't see us winning this game, but I'd love to eat crow. And I think if we do, it's going to be because Daniel Jones has that one breakout game that he hasn't really had this year. He's due for one.
Mm-hmm. Got you. Manny, thank you so much, man. Get your last thoughts. The only reason I'm sort of rushing through everybody is because there's still quite the line here, but I appreciate you calling in, man.
I appreciate it again. 5 games left. I think the Giants are gonna. I'd personally
end up in the playoffs.
Yeah, I tweeted out earlier. I think they probably are gonna lose. I think they were gonna lose out, but you know what? Yeah, I think they have a path. Beat Washington, beat the Colts. I think 9 wins can get you in because I don't trust the Seahawks at all. I don't. They almost lost to Wolford. So I'm hoping Baker Mayfield can be Baker Mayfield in that last game for them. But hey, I appreciate you guys, man.
Hey man,
No
take
problem.
it easy, Manny.
Thank you,
Go Big
Manny.
Blue.
And guys, check
Go Big
out the
Blue, baby.
Breaking Tackles podcast. Go ahead, Manny. Next up, we got Nikki. He been waiting for a minute, man. How you doing, bro?
How's the mic? Is it a little loud? Let me know how it is.
All good.
Sounds good.
All right, cool. What's going on, guys? Let's give a quick shout out to Wayne Gallman being signed by the Seahawks
I saw that
today.
Yeah.
OG Wayne Gallman. I want to make a quick point. We all know who the real MVP of that 2015 Carolina Panthers team was, and it was Mike Shula. Don't let anyone tell you any differently. Dude was a boss. No, I'm joshing, obviously, but
I was about to say, you serious?
No, but I don't want to let it go unnoticed that Carolina also had a dominant defense that year. They were like the sixth scoring defense. They had some dudes over there. Luke Kuechly was in his prime. They had Shaq Thompson and Thomas Davis, Cortland Finnegan, Josh Norman, Kawan Shore. I mean, that defense was stacked too. Like I was never a Cam believer even in that year, honestly. It's a good point about the receivers, but they're still way better than anything they have over here. So at some point, there's a point where the talent difference is just so much. Like, you need to get dudes in there. That's why, I was a guy for wanting to trade at the deadline, because there's just a point where it's so bad you have to do something. Like, I totally respect Joe Shane for not making a move. Like, don't get me wrong. But there's a point where it's so bad you have to do something. You can't just leave it and just, die on your own principles there. I think, something needed to happen. It didn't have to be a Claypool or a Judy. But you could have. There was other avenues you could have gone at that time, but we're seeing the effects of it now, especially with Wandale going down. I mean, it's really, hindsight's 2020, but we need a body in there, and I also on not even just for receiver, but for DB. I've been a guy that I wanted to re-sign Ross Cockrell. I put out a Ross Cockrell petition a couple weeks ago when Adoree went down. That would have been nice, but it looks like Adoree's supposed to be back in a week or two,
which, by the way, that would be I'd be surprised if he actually comes back in the next couple of weeks, because he was supposed to be done for the rest of the season with his MCL sprain. So he's tough. He's gonna be back that soon.
Yeah, again, that's something that this team seems to maybe possess to a fault, which is they want to die in their own principles. Which with Brian Daboll, I get the whole coaching mentality of you don't coach scared or afraid of injury. That's why you put Adoree back there. But when he's such an important part of your defense, again, there's a point where it's just so bad that you need to go away from your principles. And I respect it, but the depth was so bad behind him that it was just too much of a risk. And even the first game of him returning punts and watching him against the Texans, I understand that he was this electric returner in college, but he hadn't done that in years. I don't even think he did his last year in Tennessee. He just looked lost as a returner. He just looked like he caught the ball and would freeze up. I would have much rather Darnay back there, because he was a good college returner too. So, just a couple of bad coaching decisions from Daboll. Not that he's had too many bad ones this year. We're being nitpicky about that, but that's something that I think Daboll is going to have to, in his second, third, and fourth year, have to understand that it's good to have your ways and how you want to do things, but there's a point where you have to use your head, and you can't just die on your own sword like that.
I got a question for both of y'all real quick with Brian Daboll. How do y'all feel about him basically freaking out at least once a game, every game?
Oh, I love it.
Got you. It's giving me the great meme of the death stare against the ref, and then the screaming against the ref too. Both are great.
Yeah,
memes.
specifically the Dallas game on the Hodges touchdown that they're called back, dude. I thought he was gonna get thrown out. That was the hottest.
I actually thought he was gonna knock the ref out and be suspended, bro.
Yeah, he would have been a living legend, but he's still would have been bad.
Dave's gets hot, dude. He gets super hot with some shit. It's funny as hell, dude. If I'm being honest,
he physically gets hot too. He gets his face just turns so bright red. Dude turns into
facts.
An apple.
Big facts.
I love it though. You want to see that passion. It's a total opposite from Pat Shermer. He was all shucks OGs, kind of like Jason Garrett's reputation with the Cowboys. Coach Clapp, but I like the change. He's fiery, just like the city of New York, and I think it's a good fit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with him, getting hot and heavy and all that. I think that you need that, being, with the Giants and just we haven't had that. We haven't had that, that fiery type of coach. You know what I'm saying? So to have it, I think it's good. I think it goes a long way. Um, even when he's, when it comes down to the fact of, games not going well, or I think it was like previously, I forgot what it was, what it was. I think was it the Dallas game or something like that? He's like with the 4th and 1, he's like, we didn't convert it. It's like,
Yeah.
these guys ask stupid questions.
Well, I also think that his level of passion shows how mature he is as a head coach and how ready he was, because he has the ability to have these emotional outbursts like that and then know when to reel it in and just act like it never happened. Like guys like Jim Harbaugh have this reputation of just being these sticks of dynamite that have a fuse that's going to go off any second. And Dayball hasn't built that reputation yet. Maybe he will, but as of right now, he has that, and then he can dial it back, and he doesn't let it get the better of him, which I really like, which is really important.
Yeah. Yeah.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the camera came on at one point.
Yeah.
Hey,
Kind of
is
looks
that a-
like me, to be honest.
is
He
that a
kind of looks like
Cuban?
me a little bit.
Is that a Cuban link?
That's the highest compliment I've ever gotten in my life.
Is that a Cuban link though, Nikki?
Nah, it's Italian.
Got you. Italian link. Look good though. It looked good.
It's looking good. Looking good, Paisan.
I thought it's
Dude, I
paisano.
love that, man.
I thought there's
Oh my
a O at the end of it. How you been though, Nikki?
Paisano, yeah. Let me get you guys' take on the whole Odell thing that came out today with Dallas
Jerry Jones?
apparently leaking the whole,
Well,
negative
all I'm gonna
reports
say
on
is that
Odell.
if I'm Odell, I don't want to go to Dallas anymore because he had a quiet visit with us. He had a quiet visit with Buffalo. He goes to Dallas, which everything about it was the opposite of quiet. It was loud from the way they tried to recruit him to the fans in the Mavs game. And now you got Jerry Jones exposing, or not exposing, basically saying he has no confidence in his health. Like, why would you want? I don't know. I don't think that
All
gives
that
you
does is
confidence to
show
go
that
there.
winning is secondary to that
Yeah,
organization.
like why would you want to go there at that point? Like, to me, like if I'm
Plus,
him,
if we're
like,
being honest,
I'm
Rob,
taken
let's be
back by
serious
that.
for a second. Let's be serious for a second. His best option to me was always Buffalo.
I always said that I thought Buffalo is a spot that he was going to more than likely go. But now I just don't. I don't see Buffalo is not going to give him a multi-year deal. I think it would just be like a 1 year thing and everything like that. Is what I think it was going to be. And ultimately, I thought that's what he was going to take. But at this point now, I think with everything that transpired and with his health and everything like that, we're not going to be asking much of him. There was a report that came out. Like I said, I mentioned it. I mentioned it earlier. There was a report that came out that, basically, Joe Shane is aware and was comfortable with where he was from a health perspective. Wasn't putting him in question or anything like that. And if you're Odell, like, you appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you appreciate that. You don't got, they didn't go publicly with your shit. Like they, didn't handle it, poorly, and was disrespectful and shit like that. So, if I'm him, like, yeah, I'd be pissed, to kind of put your laundry out there, put your shit out there like that. Like I'd be upset if I was him, 100%.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's almost the opposite with Buffalo, where they've been quiet about it, but like super super quiet. I mean, I haven't seen anything from a Buffalo reporter about Odell being in the building. All I see is that the Bills are in the mix and that he was going to visit him. But when he was going to visit him, I was like, I really haven't heard much about him. And I feel like Odell he's very temperamental, meaning he doesn't want it to be too big or too small, kind of like he needs it in that level. And the Giants have gone about it in the perfect way, in my opinion, if you're on the side of wanting him to sign, which would be, we're bringing him in, all this stuff. Like Joe Shane said, he's really happy with how the physical went and all that kind of stuff, but it's not players taking him out to go to a Mavs game and stuff like that. It's not over the top, where it still seems like winning is, the primary goal of that team. To Dallas, it looks like it's secondary when you're Odell right now after everything that's happened. And just went about it in such a professional way from the beginning, from when Joe Shane had his midseason press conference and talked about it in a super professional way. I was like, like if you don't know this guy, then you would think that it's like whatever to him. I think he wants Odell, absolutely, and he's just going about it in the best way possible, and I think that's really awesome. I think it shows a lot of maturity from the coaching staff, as previously stated about Dayball's ability to control his temper, and then Joe Shane controlling the largest thing in sports media right now regarding where Odell's going to sign. I think those are really good qualities in the front office right now.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed. And Jordan Renan posted it as well. On Saturday, he wants to come here. It's just about whether the money was right, and I think at this point, it just, I think it put favor like, hey, we didn't question you. We have faith in you. This is what we're gonna do. Said that he has unfinished business. I think wholeheartedly that's what he wants. I think he wants to come back here. I think that's what he's always, I think this is where he feels at home. And hopefully it gets done. Just on how the Cowboys handled it today. And I had somebody that came in my Twitter space and said, that's how Jerry Jones handles business. He negotiates in the public eye and that's what he wants to do. But as a man, as a human being, there's like levels of respect and disrespect. And like when you look at the two situations, like he went to Buffalo for a day. Like he was there for a day and then left. So you could tell he's just not interested in that at all. I think he was just going there just to go because Vaughn was there. But it's down to Dallas and it's down to the Giants. And when you look at how the Giants handled your situation, and then you look at how the Dallas Cowboys handled your situation, how do you look at both of those situations and be like, fuck these guys? Like, these guys treated me with respect. You heard not even a fucking peep from the Giants when he went there. Not a peep afterwards. Brian Daboll said, we're focusing on Washington. That's our focus. Didn't talk about it, didn't harp on it. You didn't hear nothing from the players other than Saquon and Sterling Shepard, and because they were interviewed about it and they were asked about it, or whatever. But they weren't being like, I mean, come on. Like, if I put myself in Odell Beckham's shoes, I'm pissed. I'm pissed that you went ahead and put my fucking laundry out there.
Yeah. What makes the situation
Rob, I think
better,
your audio is acting up. There's a lot of staticky things coming through.
Me?
Rob.
Oh, I don't hear anything from Rob.
Does anybody else hear it? Can't be just me, right? Hold up. Hey, yo. Where's that sound coming from?
Yeah, I hear it too. I'm gonna mute myself. Tell me if it stops.
Oh no, I just muted Nick. Nick, it's you. Got you. Something's up there with the mic. Might want to switch to like the webcam mic or something. It's gone now. Yeah. Go ahead though, Nick. Can you still? Oh, we can't hear you now. Damn. Speak. Can we hear you?
How about now?
Oh, okay, that's way better. Much better. Even the mic quality is better.
All right, cool.
But and let me just say, to get the last thoughts as well. Then I got Nate and Sergeant Mayhem afterwards, and that Sergeant Mayhem will close out the show for us.
All right. So I want to think about this though. Do you think Odell would really want to come back to the Giants and go through a whole rebuild if we draft a guy like Anthony Richardson? Like, he's gonna be vocal about that. He's very temperamental, and that could be a problem. Not that you shouldn't draft him because a player on your team doesn't want him, but I mean, even in the first place, like, I'm sorry, guy, I'm not on the AR-15 train. I was at the beginning of the year. I watched all of his first 6 games, and I was just let down. I mean, I made it a big deal. I had friends over to come watch the Florida game, the first game of the year, and obviously the talent's there. The raw talent is there, but this dude's an even more raw project than Josh Allen was coming out of school, and it's not even close. The arm strength is there. I don't think the ability to dissect defenses clearly is not there. The accuracy is not there. the rushing ability and the wow throws are there, and that's really all you're working with. If you draft a guy like that is that much of a project, then I'm sorry, he's going to fail on the Giants. He just is. You have other needs you need to address. And then what are you going to do? Are you still not going to bring back Daniel Jones next year and you're going to start Anthony Richardson? You're going to start Tyrod Taylor. What's the plan going forward? If you bring Anthony Richardson in with the receiving problem that everyone is bitching and moaning about, with the offensive line problem that people are still bitching and moaning about, what is Anthony Richardson going to do in this situation? He's going to fail. And you're going to have lost that first round draft capital if you take him in the end of the first round, if that's what we're picking this year. I want another guy from Florida. I don't want Anthony Richardson. I want Osiris Torrance, who's their guard, who's very, very good. And that's my guy right now. I was the Keyshawn Boutte guy, but now he's going back, and I was really upset about that. But yeah, so it's just it's not. I don't even want a guy like CJ Stroud. Like, his ceiling isn't there for me. Like, I would much rather Bryce Young and Will Levis to any other quarterback. It's like Bryce Young all the way up here for me, Will Levis right here, and then like Stroud, and then all the way down here is Anthony Richardson. I mean, like honestly, I'd much rather a guy like Grayson McCall. Like, he just wouldn't work out here. He wouldn't. He would fail. In 3 games, a team would turn on him just like they do with Daniel Jones every other week. It wouldn't be a good look. He would not succeed here.
All I'm gonna say is we better not draft somebody that puts mayo in their coffee. So that's it.
I mean, look, when it comes down to the AR-15 and like, would he want to be a part of a rebuild? I mean, look, Josh Allen. Everybody thought Josh Allen was going to be a project coming out of college as well. He had some inconsistencies.
And he was.
When
It took him 3 years.
It took him 3 years to kind of get there. And here's the thing: look at what they've been able to do as far as making some improvements with Daniel Jones. They're being able to limit his turnovers. He's gotten a little bit better as far as maneuvering in the pocket, and everything like that. The thing and the main issue with Daniel Jones is that he's not consistent. He's inconsistent. It doesn't, consistently happen where he's playing well. So, and now when you look at a guy like Anthony Richardson, he's athletic. He's got the arm strength. He can make the throws. At this point, it's just about him learning to be accurate, where to place the ball, things of that nature. Those are all things that you can teach. And the kid's 21 years old. So, like, I would trust him. I think you're absolutely right. There's a very good possibility that he could come to the National Football League and he could fail, right? And that you could say that about any quarterback. But I trust Brian Daboll that he could get this kid right. Because look, if you could see what he did with Josh, you look at the improvements that he made with Daniel Jones and how he improved Daniel's game in some capacity, I would trust. And there's maybe a handful of coaches that you could put AR-15 on and they could get the best out of him and really teach him. And I'll be honest, like, call me crazy, but I think there's really only 3. And that's Andy Reid, Kyle Shanahan, and Brian Daboll. Those 3 guys, I think, are the only 3 teams you could put a project guy, like a 2-year project, like AR-15, put them on there, and they would get the max and most and get the best out of that quarterback. Wow. I would even maybe potentially put Nick Sirianni in that maybe potentially in there as well, because I think Nick Sirianni is a good coach. I think he's done a great job with managing Jalen and getting the best out of him. Maybe it's Jalen's just natural ability that's making Nick Sirianni look good, but I would fully trust Brian Daboll. If I'm Odell, I would fully trust Brian Daboll to go ahead and bring in a guy, and just by looking at the tape, like, this guy could play, let's go.
Those coaches, though, I mean, there's a limit. Yeah, those coaches I agree with you.
Nick, let because I got to move on to the next 2 people. We got your stance of what the ranking was: Bryce, Levis. Who was the 3rd guy, and then AR? Was it Stroud, then AR?
CJ Stroud, then AR-15, yeah.
And then we got a converted Mayo guy to AR in Rob. The only reason I got to move on because I'm already over 2 hours. Let me get your thoughts on this Eagles game, and then I'll pop on the next 2 callers.
Sure. I'm kind of going into this one like I went into the Dallas one, which is, don't lose by 20 points, and I'll be happy. Make it respectable. If you can get through the first 2 quarters in a 1-score margin, I'll be happy. That's pretty much how I'm looking at it. I tweeted out today that I said there's a lot of there's a lot for Giants fans to be looking forward to. There's a lot to be excited about this year, even though we're on a bit of a rough patch right now. There's a lot to be happy about, and there's a lot to look forward to, not only this year, but going forward. And the thing that I'm looking forward to the most for every single game and going forward the rest of the season and seasons to come is the pass rushing duo of Kayvon Thibodeau and Azeez Ojulari. Because, like you said, Azeez played 40% of the snaps. Every single time he was out there, I knew where he was. I was at the game on Sunday. I was sitting.
That had to be
Yeah.
nice, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. The one thing though that was a little disappointing, I was expecting the crowd to be rocking a bit more than it was. I was at the Baltimore game, and that place was the loudest I've ever heard it.
Yeah,
I was expecting it to be like
every
that this
single time
past
I've been
weekend.
at a
It wasn't.
Giants game, man. It's the crowd always low key disappoints me. And like
Yeah.
people, even at games where people say, "Oh, the crowd was loud," I'm like, that's not loud compared to some other teams, man.
Yeah, well, the Baltimore game they were rocking. That was the loudest I've heard the stadium ever, and I was expecting it to be like that, and it wasn't. I was kind of disappointed. I mean, I lost my voice, and so I mean, I was trying my hardest, but obviously I can't carry the load of 80,000 other people. But so for the Eagles game, I'm really looking forward to see Azeez and Kayvon take a step forward, play off one another, take advantages of mismatches. I think they did that very well. Azeez played 40% of the snaps. I knew where he was at all times. He was there. He was abusing Charles Leno the entire game, and that was awesome. I would like to see Rodarius Williams in the lineup a little bit more. I don't like seeing Nick McLeod out there too much. So that's pretty much it. Let's get Saquon going. He had a great first half, and honestly, it wasn't his fault that he didn't do well the second half. I mean, oh my gosh, Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne kind of just took over the interior of our offensive line the second half through overtime, and we weren't able to get anything going with Saquon. But he had a great half. He was having a bounce back game until halftime, and I don't think it was his fault that he didn't finish with a respectable 80 yards on the ground. So yeah.
All good, Nicky. Thank you for calling in, man. I appreciate it. And have a good one, bro.
No problem. Thanks, guys.
By the way, shout out to Adam in the chat. I'm gonna just pop on the last two people real quick. Nate, go ahead, and Sergeant Mayhem. Nate, I know you say you got one specific thing. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, sorry, blindsided me. I was playing FIFA for a second there. Yeah, I do not have the patience tonight to have arguments about Anthony Richardson and Odell Beckham Jr. and all that. I just really wanted to say one thing, which is, at what point are we just gonna fucking acknowledge the obvious truth that Daniel Jones is Jimmy Garoppolo with legs? That's not bad. Like, people won't acknowledge it because they think it's bad. That's not bad. If the Giants wanted to, they could take Jimmy Garoppolo with legs, which is what Daniel Jones is, and they could build a Super Bowl winning team around him. That I have confidence in. But the fact that people are going to sit here and say these things, and I'm so fucking tired of but Patrick Mahomes has Tyreek Hill, but Josh Allen has Stephon Diggs. If you give Daniel Jones Stephon Diggs, he's going to produce more, but that's not going to make him tremendously better as a player. Like, what we've seen from Daniel Jones as a player is who he is as a player. But at the same time, if you do give him stuff and build around him, like Jimmy Garoppolo did in San Francisco, yeah, he can use what you give him and take you to a deep playoff run, possibly a Super Bowl, all that good stuff. But it's so goddamn annoying when people pretend that Daniel Jones, if we give him one more year, just one more year, guys, that's all it is, one more year, he's going to become something he's not. Daniel Jones is Daniel Jones. We understand this now. Just please fucking acknowledge Daniel Jones is Jimmy Garoppolo with legs. That's what he is. That is a quarterback that can manage your franchise, that can be a stable option for you for a long time, and has some upside. Can make some plays when you need him to.
Are you bringing him back to be a bridge?
To be a bridge? No.
Hold up. Rob, let me finish, because after he finishes, I want to get Mayhem's thoughts on it. We'll go ahead.
Yeah. That's a good segue, what Rob just brought up. Daniel Jones, I think, presents this franchise with two options. One, you can go the Jimmy Garoppolo route and say, okay, we have something that's stable. We don't want to take our chance in the absolute lottery that is the NFL draft. We'll take stable, we'll take dependable, we'll take reliable, and we'll give him a bunch of weapons, we'll build an offensive line, and we'll make it work. And that is something I think this staff could very well do. I think Brian Daboll and Mike Kafka are perfectly creative guys. I think they can take some good weapons and a strong offensive line and make this happen on offense. And we already know Wink can get it done on defense. Or you can say, I don't want stable, I want a freak. And at that point, you draft someone. That's just what it is. Those are your two options as a franchise. And that's a massive oversimplification, but that's just what it is. Like, I'm so tired of the Daniel Jones can be more than he is talk. He can't. He just can't. And at the end of the day, that doesn't have to be a bad thing. You can make it work with that if you want to. The question is if they want to. That's all I wanted to say. I will see you all around. I just had to, I couldn't type that. I had to say that with my voice.
So
you
wait,
know?
so are you negative AR or positive AR?
Positive AR.
Okay. So you're with me. You're agreeing with me.
I love how you say that as if I haven't been saying this for a year and a half.
But because I like it when you agree with me. And
I like it when you agree with me, Rob. I remember when we argued about Anthony Richardson.
And here's the best thing with Daniel Jones is people that support Daniel Jones, which there's nothing wrong with you wanting to support him and wanting to bring him back. I get it. You want Daniel Jones to be your Disney World where dreams come true, and I get it, and I understand. Yeah, I just can't stop looking at Mayhem's beard. That thing is beautiful.
Oh yeah, that's fantastic. That's
a pretty
glorious.
nice beard, yeah.
Nate, this is coming in really well for you, man. I really liked it.
Yeah, you've noticed, right? You've noticed.
Oh, it's coming. Nate, it looks great, and I love nothing more in the world than a brown or a ginger beard.
It's college. College is doing it.
College
is making facial hair.
I trimmed it a week ago. I think it's looking good now. It's all right.
He's got to have something to pull when his professors fucking annoy him and he's bored in class. He's got to have something to scratch and.
Yeah, no, don't stop trimming, Nate. Let that shit grow.
Stop trimming. Let it keep growing.
Let it go.
Let it go out.
I'll tell you when you're ready to trim it.
Okay.
First thing.
Listen, if we make the playoffs and we draft AR-15, you don't shave for a year.
See, right now he's got like that hockey playoff beard. But we're in football playoffs, so we're gonna go football playoff beard to hockey playoff beard, and then the next thing you know, it's just gonna be like here where I'm at. And Rob, you say that, but like 2 days time, I'm chopping like an inch and a half off.
Are you chopping? Are you chopping?
Oh, dude, this like once it gets down to like where you can see like that much white, that's where I start getting like weird split ends. I didn't come here to talk about beard health. I came here to say, first off, I love Angry Nate. Nate, if you're gonna
I don't though. I don't like Angry Nate.
Oh, I love Angry Nate.
I don't want to be Angry Nate. Angry Nate says things that regular Nate doesn't like.
I need Angry Nate.
So what you're trying to say, Nate, is you're a schizo. There's two of you?
Well, aren't we all? By the way, only two. That's insulting.
That's marginalizing, and I don't appreciate that. So, and here's the other thing: as I came immediately from New York Revival over to here, because we're all supporting the family. So, and Eli brought up a good point, and it's something that I kind of subscribe to is, and Nate just said it, is that essentially you got to think about quarterbacks have levels, right? And like guys like Mahomes, Burrow, Aaron Rodgers, those Tom Brady, those guys are like here, right? That's where these guys are, right? And then you've got those guys who can go from here to here, right? Eli was like that. He was kind of like right here, and then when the playoffs hit, he went here, and took you to the promised land, right? Daniel's here. He's a nice mid-range quarterback, like Jimmy G. He's gonna give you solid performance. He doesn't have this. He doesn't have that next level. He's just here. Now, can you get to the playoffs with here? Yes, you can, because it's been proven. Guys like Trent Dilfer, Joe Flacco, any other Ravens quarterback besides Lamar. They can get you to the playoffs or even to the Super Bowl with here. But he's not going to give you this. He's not even going to give you this. This is where he's at. He doesn't have, like everybody talks about Danny, he's a tough guy. He's a tough kid. He's out there. He's making plays. He's getting whacked around, and he's out there. He's a tough guy. That's great. You know what he doesn't have? He doesn't have nasty. I need a quarterback with a little bit of nasty or a little bit of swag. Either or. Because they're both the same thing. Those are the guys who are going to go from here to here to here. Those are the guys with level. Right now, we don't have that. You guys want another 3 to 5 years of vanilla, or do you want AR-15? He's going to put you right about here. Right? Every time I start talking about AR-15, my dog.
Let's just say rookie quarterback of your choice, because everybody got their who they believe is that guy. Rookie quarterback of your choice.
I have a name that I'm not quite ready to talk about yet.
Oh, please do. I guarantee I'll know who you're talking about if you say it.
I know you know who I'm talking about.
I'm so curious.
He's already heading to New York this weekend. We're going to wait. We're going to wait until after January before I start really pounding the table.
Is it a rookie?
Oh, he will be. He will be.
We can save that. We'll save that.
You're not talking about the quarterback from fucking North Carolina, are you?
Oh,
No.
God, no.
No. He'll be in New York this week, Rob.
He's going to
Bro,
New York.
I don't know college football. Tell me.
We'll save this for another time. This conversation is prescient to be saved for later.
I think Nate knows who I'm talking about.
I do, actually.
You can hit me up on Twitter, Nate, if you want to talk. But, yeah, I'm not quite ready to talk about that one yet. Because nobody else is talking about him.
No, not even at all.
Not even a little bit.
It's a conversation.
Not even a little bit.
I actually have spoken to some people, not Giants fans, who are having that conversation. He's a Lions fan that's talking about it. And
if they nab him, that's a steal, and that guy will get them to the promise.
Very possibly.
Charles
That's an
Barkley
interesting
said
conversation.
not Sam Howell. They said no, not the North Carolina quarterback.
No, that's not who the North Carolina quarterback is anyway. But
that's the UNC one, right?
UNC is North Carolina.
Yo, I
So
don't
wait,
know.
this guy's gonna be
Who's
in
Sam
New
Howell?
York. What is he? Is he going to New York to play game?
Kush, the guy at UNC now is named Drake May. He's in next year's quarterback class. That's a whole other conversation.
Is
Whole
this
other
guy going
conversation.
to? Is this guy going to New York just to visit, or going to New York to play a game?
All right.
Play-
so
what
I think,
game
Nate,
would he
we've
play?
established that. I think we've established that both Kush and Rob don't follow.
I don't follow college
No.
football.
So with that said, we can save this for later.
Wait, I just got
we
one
can save
question.
this
Yes
for
or
later.
no? Is it the guy from TCU that everybody's been talking about on Twitter lately?
Who's been talking about Max Duggan on Twitter recently?
Bro, a
Everybody
lot of
loves
people.
Max Duggan on Twitter.
Do they?
Yeah.
Now?
Yeah.
Oh, because he cried. He cried in the press conference afterwards.
I'm not impressed by anything he does.
You're
I
not
will
talking
say
about
this:
Malik Hooker, are you?
if you're
Malik
talking about
Hooker, what?
Not Malik
What?
Hooker. Hendon Hooker.
Hendon Hooker, no.
Hendon Hooker's also not going to New York.
Hendon Hooker's not.
Bro, just tell us.
Just
Well, you guys
fucking
keep bringing
name.
it up.
We're not
All
gonna
right,
leave
so
you
here's
alone
the
until you
thing,
tell us.
right? And I'm gonna say this now, and I am not taking any further conversation regarding this matter. At one point in time in the very near future, we are going to have a collective conversation about Stetson Bennett.
And it hurts me to hear you say that. But,
No
okay.
way. The
Wait, what was the name?
25-year-old
I couldn't hear what you. I couldn't
Stetson
hear what you
Bennett
said.
from Georgia.
Stetson
The
Bennett
25-year-old who won the championship last year.
He's the one that's gonna end up being a car salesman. Is the joke?
That's the joke, but he could also wind up being a very good NFL quarterback.
I just don't want to have this argument with you about.
Yeah,
this, is the
let's
thing.
leave this for the future.
But
That's a whole
the
other
thing, Nate,
thing.
And here's the thing: is you can come on my show, and we can have that argument.
I didn't know you had a YouTube channel, Mayhem.
Oh,
I
yeah,
only
man, we
see you
just
on
started.
Twitter.
It's me, Monty, and Big Smooth. We do.
DM me the link on Twitter.
Night. I will.
DM me the
Forget
link after
that.
we're
Just
done
put the link in the chat right now.
That works too.
Let me do that.
Okay, anyway, though, we've taken this tangent far enough. While he's doing that, I do want to take this back, because I said I wasn't going to get mad about this, but since he said I should, let's talk about fucking Anthony Richardson right here for a second, because fucking hell, this pisses me off. Why do people keep making this something it's not? Every goddamn time these days someone talks about Anthony Richardson, they're talking about it as if nobody knows that he's going to be a project. As if anybody that says, I want X team to draft Anthony Richardson is saying, yeah, he'll start this year. He'll be the guy right now. The level of just utter frustration that I get from this is wild. Because people talk about this as if nobody else watches tape. Nobody else is watching these games. No, I didn't see the missed throws. I missed that part. I didn't see the inconsistent footwork and where he takes a couple extra hitches sometimes. I didn't see the part where he misses obvious reads at times. No, I missed that. That's my fault. Sorry, I was only half paying attention. No, we understand this. It's a part of drafting a guy like him. When you have prospects like this, there are many of them. Every year there's a quarterback or two in a class like this. Last year it was Malik Willis, sometimes it's Josh Allen, and it depends how the league views them. These are incredibly talented players.
Shame on you, Nate, for not seeing those missed throws. Shame on you.
Thank you, Rob. I appreciate you keeping me honest.
How fucking
Thank
dare you?
Thank you. I appreciate that. Every year they either go really, really high because a team falls in love and they interview him and they think this is our guy and they draft him in the first round, or they slip because no one wants to take that big chance. It's the same goddamn thing every time, and I am so tired of people bringing up every single time, well, he's got such big risk. We know. We know that.
If he was a
We're
project,
watching
he
the
was like
same
24,
game
25
you are.
years old, I can understand people bitching. The kid's fucking 21.
Yeah, honestly. And the fact that people are doing this with the idea in their head that it's groundbreaking information, that's what really pisses me off. That if you show me a clip of him missing an open throw, or if you show me a series in a game where he mismanages the game clock or whatever, or you show me a couple of reps where he heel clicks in the backfield, I'm going to say, oh, God, you were right. What could I possibly have seen? What was it about this 6'4", 232-pound guy that runs a 4.3 40 and has a cannon for an arm? What was I thinking? What was going through my head?
I hope that all of these worries and these concerns continue throughout the draft process, so that he drops and now I'm got to move up to grab him.
Oh yeah, for sure. My
say that for a
absolute
minute.
dream. My dream is that everyone that's talking
But my
on this
fear
right now is right.
Is that he's going to perform well
I'll be right back,
at
guys.
the combine, and his interview
Nah,
process.
make sure
is gonna
his
be very good
laces
as
are
well.
loose.
Here's my thing. My dream is that Anthony Richardson either. So I know he's not going to have a bad combine. That is literally impossible. That will never happen.
no,
He's too
no
big a
shot.
freak. But my dream is that some weird thing happens again. Like every year there's one of these players, like it's a Laramie Tunsil situation.
Yep.
Or who is the guy that everyone said interviewed badly? I forget who it was. Kayvon, thank you. Sorry. I forgot who that was last year, and it was Kayvon. I dream that this is a thing, that they say, oh, he interviewed badly, or everyone like decides that he's not that first round dude. I dream that we get him in the second or third round, and we can spend that first round pick somewhere else.
I wouldn't even wait. If we're picking 22 and he's there in the first round, I'm taking him. I'm not going to take
Fair
a chance.
enough.
I'm not dropping down to the second round, and hopefully that he's still available.
No, fair enough.
I'm taking him in the first round. Fuck it.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I think the thing we have to acknowledge at this point is that, again, I said this earlier, the Giants have two options, which is stick with Jones and go the 49ers route, or go to an AR-15 or a Caleb Williams or whatever you have to do and get that super talented guy and go the Bills route. That's essentially your two choices here. And me personally, I have my preference, which is that I like the aggressive move and getting the higher upside guy. But at the same time, if they do decide that Daniel Jones is the guy they want to roll with, and they want to go that route and keep that first round capital and have that stability under center, which is a very reasonable thing to want. I wouldn't be so upset with that a lot of people would. A lot of people have it in their head that there's only one path to success, that this is a zero-sum game, and it's not. I don't think it is. I think a lot of what we're seeing with teams, I have this idea in my head that may just be entirely stupid, but my idea is that there's a certain threshold. You need coaching, obviously, but there's a certain threshold of talent. And every time someone gets on here and has one of these arguments about what's most important, whether the receiver helps the quarterback or the quarterback helps the receiver, whatever, everyone seems to think that one position group is the key. I think there's a threshold of talent where it literally does not matter what position you have it at. If you have enough just dogs on your roster, you will be able to get there provided you have the quarterback play. So I'm looking at this and I'm saying we have so many holes on this roster, and every goddamn week it seems like one of these position groups is the new biggest problem. This week I think the interior offensive line was the biggest problem on the team by far. Last week it was linebackers. The week before that it's receivers, and then it just goes back and forth, round and round, this roller coaster. I think if we're addressing any of it and we're getting good impact players, we're going to end up in the positives. So it's just a matter of whatever this front office decides, we're along for the ride, and we have to have some confidence.
Where do we think CJ Stroud goes as far as the team?
That's so interesting. That's such an interesting question. First off, CJ Stroud is Jared Goff. That is who he is. Second off, I think he still goes top 10. I think even with how shaky it's been.
Pick a team.
Yeah.
I think Lions. I think he ends up in Detroit, honestly.
You think he goes to the Lions? I don't think
he ends
Goff
up in
is playing
Detroit.
bad. I don't think Goff is playing bad this year.
You don't think so?
I think he's playing good enough to where they may try to roll with him.
See, here's why I think this. I think they like what they're seeing from Goff, but they don't like what they have to pay Goff. And with that logic in mind, I think CJ Stroud is Goff, but cheaper.
See, the reason why I asked this question is because my thinking process is I think we're going to have a top 10 pick next year because of the division that we have to play.
Really?
So, in my mind, I'm thinking AR-15.
Which division are we playing next year? So.
AFC East.
Ooh, that is a tough slate.
So we have to play the Bills, the Patriots, the Jets, and the Dolphins.
Yeah. If Jets figure out quarterback, that's a really tough slate.
And then we're going to have to go up against Philly again, Dallas.
They're going to roll with. I think they might roll back with.
So
You'd have to say that
the
again,
reason why I
Mayhem.
asked that question,
It didn't come through well.
the reason why I was asking that question was because I'm thinking AR, throwing to OBJ, throwing to Wandell, and then throwing to Marvin Harrison Jr.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, totally. Yep, 100%.
Man,
There's
if we
Marvin's not. There's no shot a wide receiver goes number one or even in the top, maybe in the top 5, but he's not going in the first 3 picks. So,
Kush, I'm gonna leave this up to you. I don't want. I've been talking a lot. I'm either gonna talk about Odell or I'm gonna talk about Marvin Harrison. Which one?
I'm gonna say talk about Marvin Harrison because it's been
Okay.
Odell all night. But I'm gonna have
Good
to wrap
call.
it up within like the next 10 minutes. It's been like over 2.5 hours now. Go ahead, guys.
Then I'm gonna throw cold water on this. I don't think it's possible that we get Marvin Harrison Jr. And I say that because
don't say that.
I know it hurts. I want him so.
We're not
bad.
gonna be
It's
that
insane.
bad next year, bro.
I not only are we not going to be that bad, the universe in which we have a pick that high, I think is going to be. I do think it's very possible we end up with maybe like a top 5 pick next year, but I don't think it's going to be because we're that bad. I think a very likely scenario is that we trade out of the first round this year. I think there's a very high possibility that this front office, this general manager, whoever's making the decision, whoever's pulling the trigger, I think they look at this and they say, okay, we like what we see from Richardson, but some other teams want him higher than us and we're not willing to trade up to go get him. Or they say, we don't like the options at quarterback in general, whatever. And they say, all right, Let's trade out and let's get ammunition to trade up next year. So they trade out, they do what the Eagles did, and we end up somehow, whether it's straight up in a trade for our first rounder, getting a high first round pick from someone.
Right now. I hate them so much.
Right? Or we trade out and that ammunition ends up being a trade up next year and we're picking top 5. But if we're doing that,
you picking next year?
it's because we're drafting a quarterback. So we're not going to be getting Marvin Harrison Jr. anyway. So at the end of the day, I don't see a path for Harrison Jr. What quarterback? Yeah. That is way too early to say. By miles too early.
Caleb?
The only one you can lock in for a first round pick next year is Caleb Williams. That's it. The rest of them, who fucking knows? I mean, people will argue with me. People will say that Drake May is a lock next year. No, he's not. Bullshit. He's not a lock this early. No chance.
Nope.
There are no locks for the first round next year at quarterback except Caleb Williams.
Yep.
I got an idea.
Especially if Caleb actually pulls
why don't we sign Daniel Jones to a 2-year deal, and then in 2025 draft Arch Manning?
Yeah, literally, I was about to bring that up because somebody brought it up in the chat. Yeah, I was literally about to bring that up, yo. I kid you not. That is the plan. That is the plan.
Can you imagine? No shot that they're doing that, right?
Bro,
no, of course
Arch Manning would be the first NFL quarterback in history to win Super Bowl MVP as a rookie, bro.
Dude.
Bro, that's
bro.
Dude,
has that really never happened?
Bro, he's gonna have Odell. He's gonna have Marvin Harrison. He's gonna have a really good running back, whether it's Saquon or somebody else. He's gonna have a really good defense. He's gonna have an offensive line.
I'm just gonna say
that makes Daniel Jones like the biggest rebound boyfriend.
No, if you want me to be honest, I wouldn't mind Arch
in
Manning.
the history of football.
But if you want me to be honest, I'm gonna call it right now. Arch Manning will be a New Orleans Saint.
I can see that happening.
That'd be cool.
I can see them. I can see them being a team in limbo.
The next couple of years.
I think I can see them being a quarterback limbo long enough, and of course, there's the actual Arch.
This year in the offseason,
just because you said it, Kush, I want to say this.
A lot of players this offseason.
I just am gonna throw it out there. I don't want to sign Odell Beckham Jr.
All right, guys. Good night.
We did say we said we weren't gonna talk about it, but
that's it. I just wanted to say it. I don't want to.
Rob left.
Bye, Rob.
All I'm gonna say is we weren't even gonna talk about it. There's no need for that.
I just want. I had to put the opinion out there.
I would love to understand why you wouldn't want to sign Odell.
Would you love to understand that, Rob?
Please.
It is very simple.
Very quickly, share this hypocrisy.
It's very easily explainable quickly. Hypocrisy. It's because Odell Beckham Jr. is coming off 2 ACL tears in 2 seasons, and he wants a multi-year deal. I'm good. That's simple.
So if you could get Odell Beckham Jr. 3 years, $9-10 million a year, you wouldn't do that.
Probably not.
You're crazy, bro. You're absolutely nuts. So let me get this straight.
Juice ain't worth the squeeze.
So it's not worth the squeeze. That's fine. You want to reference, the Girl Next Door movie? That's perfectly fine. So your plan is to roll out next year potentially with Tyrod or maybe a rookie quarterback.
Are you not seeing? I'm surprised you're not seeing the vision though, Rob.
Wandell.
Rob, the vision is the offense stinks so bad next year that we still get Marvin Harrison Jr. Bro, like what are you talking about, bro?
No, see,
I'm
Rob,
not okay. I'm not okay with my quarterback, whoever it is, throwing the undrafted rookie free agents all season.
All I'm gonna say is there's some dudes in this draft I got my eye on, and I'll leave it at that.
So what are you gonna draft? 7 fucking wide receivers with 11 of our picks?
Listen, Rob. Every year, there's wide receiver ones in the 2nd and 3rd round. Every year.
That's one. We need 7.
We don't though. That's a lie.
You don't need to rebuild in
7 receivers.
We have 1 on contract. We have 1 on contract,
and we're going to re-sign some.
No, we don't.
Who are we going to re-sign?
Here's the vision. Here's the vision.
Slayton.
Here's the vision, Rob. I got you. Rob, I got you.
Wait.
You can laugh your red ass off if you want to. Darius Slayton is a wide receiver 3, whether you like it or not.
This is what we're going to do. We will re-sign Slayton. We will re-sign Hodgins. We will draft 2
We don't
wide
have to
receivers.
re-sign Hodgins. We have him under contract.
You're right. You're right. Hodges is back. We will
Oh.
draft 2
If
receivers.
we re-sign Slayton, I'm
And
gonna buy
listen
a
to
Slayton
me.
jersey
Listen
and
to
then
me.
burn it.
We signed T. Higgins.
Why do you hate him so much?
We signed T.
You
Higgins,
can't sign
guys.
T. Higgins. He's not a free agent. You have to trade for him.
Bro, that's the plan over a couple years. That's the you don't got to rebuild the entire
Bro.
core in 1 year.
Hold on. Can we take a second? Why do you hate Darius Slayton so much?
I don't hate Darius Slayton
So why are you gonna burn his jersey if we sign him?
because I'm not paying Darius Slayton that has a 15.
How much do you think you're gonna have to pay?
Darius Slayton's not gonna get that many contract offers.
Darius Slayton's gonna get
What do you
nothing.
think? What do you think his contract is worth, Rob?
Darius
If
Slayton's
the money
getting
that
a
I'm
wide
gonna pay
receiver
Darius-
4 contract.
All right, how much do you think he's going to get paid on a per year
6 or
basis?
7.
6 or 7? I'd rather spend the extra
Yeah.
3 and get Odell Beckham with 2 torn ACLs.
That's fine.
So, yeah.
I'd rather take an extra
Why
3
I'm
million.
glad
I just don't understand your visceral reaction, Rob. That's where I'm
It
coming
was a
from.
lot. It was very visceral, Rob.
It was very visceral. I'm going to take a bite of
You know what, Rob? You know what I respect so much about you, Rob, that is similar between the two of us? We are both very strongly opinionated people. And I respect that.
I'll
about
say
you,
this,
Rob.
and I really do got to end it out, guys. First off, shout out to Sergeant Mayhem. Let me get your last thoughts first, man.
Rob's a maniac. I love Angry Nate. Darius Slayton is very much so worth $6.5 million a year for 2 years, or maybe even 3.
I hope I
Well,
choke on this burger.
Hey,
Honestly,
I'm trying to make you choke on this burger.
you're
you
almost
can
going to
also-
succeed.
Like, seriously, Zay Flowers in the second round. Dude. That's
Say
your
Flowers
wide
has some
receiver.
juice.
That's your right receiver 1. Also, by the way, if you draft a quarterback in the first round, or if you go receiver, you can get Jalen Hyatt.
I'm still going to continue saying
right.
this should be your wide receiver core in 2 years, bro. Please. Jalen Hyatt, Slayton, Robinson, Hodgins, and sign T. Higgins in 2 years.
Y'all,
That's
y'all
so
gotta
nasty.
stop putting
That's
Jalen
so
Hyatt's
nasty.
name in my head because you're putting these expectations
so
in that are
nasty.
gonna
Those
set
5
me
is
up
your
for
wide
sadness. You're
I
gonna
can't help it,
set me
man.
up for sadness when Jalen Hyatt gets drafted to like the
Shout out to
Cowboys.
Raven, man.
When we get jumped in the draft again.
How are you
I
going to
don't
feel
think
when
Shout
Will
out.
Anderson?
Stop.
How are you going to feel when Will Anderson goes to the Eagles?
He's
Will
not.
Anderson's going number 1. I think
Or
every
2.
mock draft
1 or
I've
2.
seen,
He's going to
he's
go to the
gone
Eagles.
1 or 2 to the Texans are like, we're good. We're just gonna roll with.
Hey,
The other thing
we
is-
totally love Davis Mills. We think he's our answer. Will
Him being on the Eagles, like, I'm not happy about it, but at some point I just stopped caring about the Eagles getting more good players because, like, they already have so much. I just don't care about them.
Guys,
getting
hold
more.
up. I just
Howie
realized.
Roseman is.
Wait, guys.
evil wizard.
I got work in the morning, yo. I just saw
Alright,
something.
we'll
So, yo,
see. We'll see.
Yo, peace out, yo. I gotta end it. I know this is an abrupt end, but 2 hours, 40 minutes plus. Shout out
That's
to
all right,
everybody in
man.
the
We're
chat.
just gonna keep yelling at each other.
It's my fault.
Yeah.
It's my fault.
No, you're good. You're good. Make sure you check out
We'll yell
Rob.
at
Make
each
sure you
other
check
at
out
Rob's show
Sergeant
tomorrow.
Mayhem. Whenever Nate decides to get back on it, make sure you check him out. Shout out to him, Graham, and shout out to Vibes, everybody in the chat.